very strange, and how it started was absolutely ridiculous. But it's my own dumbass fault. It's not. It doesn't bother me, but it just really.
Welcome back, everybody who's piling back in here. We're just going to go with what we have. I decided, like a very smart person, to mess up with my setup and everything, which is probably a bad idea. And this is the mic quality I guess I have now for some reason. I'll play around with it, though, this week to get it back on track.
You're audible. I mean, yeah, it sounds like you're talking through a really good phone, but it's not. It's not.
That's interesting.
Awful. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll work with it. We'll be back. Hopefully working up, better next week. So I don't even know if I'm going back through this mic now. I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out this week and everything. So we'll kind of go. I'm not talking the entire time anyway. So but we were talking about Kirby. I like Kirby. I think it's fun. It's easy, yes, but I think it's set up for I guess basically anyone to play with you. It's 4 players. Everyone can sit down and play. It works well with a Joy-Con. So I'm fine with Kirby, I think, overall.
Yeah, that co-op play I think is pretty cool with it too.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I didn't get to try co-op. I've been playing with the AI this entire time.
Ouch.
So I don't play with a lot. I don't have anyone around to play with, so I just play with the AI. The AI is actually not terrible in the game though. They at least know what to do. Mm-hmm. So they'll like if you need a switch opened, they'll work together and opened it. So it's fine that like if you have there's sometimes like a switch you need to open and it's like there's ice all over it. If you have a fire person, they'll melt it, and then the person with the hammer will hit it like in sync. So it at least works. Mm-hmm. But I'm sure it's more. I think it's more fun with other people. I think that's the idea. But it's missing online, and that's just weird to me. So
it's Nintendo.
Yeah, but like that's a game that I think would work great with online. It's weird. I don't know.
Yep.
It's a weird thing to me.
I feel like the biggest thing I want them to make it where every game has online multiplayer with your friends list. So even if they, for some reason, are trying to be Uncle Nintendo about it and really clamp down, at least make it where if it's people I've personally added to my friends list, let me voice chat with them. Let me make parties with them. Let me invite them to games. It's weird that there's some stuff that is online, some stuff that's not. It's weird.
Yeah, it's odd. But do you guys want to go over some of the stuff that I had in that I guess the sheet that I sent over, because there's some interesting stuff in there that's happened this past week. And Max, you were talking a lot about God of War because you were pretty much like breaking that trailer down.
Yeah.
Or not even trailer, I guess the leaked gameplay down. I found a live link, by the way, if you guys didn't see it. I was searching everywhere because Sony is ripping these things down left and right. It doesn't even survive on Daily Motion. So it's being ripped down everywhere. But I did find a live link, at least it was like 30 minutes ago, I guess. Who knows now? But Max, you're pretty excited about that before you're on stream. You wanted to kind of talk about the gameplay a bit and what you think.
Yeah, holy heck, is it totally different? I've seen a lot of people kind of hating on it because if you manage to see, like, I feel like the trailers that they showed at E3 and the PlayStation Experience, even that kind of made it look faster. But this gameplay is like the first 2 hours of the game cut down into like a sweet montage. And the gameplay, the combat specifically, is actually pretty slow. It's very, very methodical. Like, if you get hit, it really, really hurts. It almost sort of reminds me of, like, Bloodborne or Dark Souls, where you're actually having to walk up with your shield up and stun one target and try and deflect one target. And what kind of surprised me the most is the fact that your son, Artemis, is clearly a huge part of the game. He actually shoots bows to stun people. He'll jump on monsters' faces and punch them. All the puzzles are written in like Norse language and you can't read it. So your son actually translates it to like describe the puzzle to you. Man, it really excited. I'm sure whoever posted that's going to get in a lot of trouble, though, because if you see the leaked gameplay, it says their name at the start. They definitely posted it by accident. Yeah, it's like, oh, you guys are definitely in trouble.
Death with Cassidy, thank you. Actually, they have a question for you, Rich, asking when you're returning to Drunken Peasants podcast.
Actually, they were talking out, so they want me to come back. They actually wanted me to come back this week because someone fell through. But before that, they invited me back to this April. So that's hopefully this time my power will be on and I'm not doing it by
I was going to say, man, you had to work hard to get on that podcast last time.
Oh, that was insane, man. Doing a battery. I went through LTE battery and I had a flashlight under me, so I looked like super creepy while I was doing it. That was a good time.
That's great. I was surprised at that gameplay. It looks slower than God of War usually is, so it's gonna be interesting to see how the critics and everybody receive it.
The coolest thing is definitely that weapon. The fact that your axe is like Thor's hammer, it magnetizes back to your hands. So there were so many times where he'd do a combo where he'd throw it behind somebody, stick it into a rock, and then magnetize it back to like cut somebody's head off from behind, or using it to freeze one person and then shatter them and then take on the next person. It looks like it's going to be really, really tough, and it's either people are going to love it or hate it.
It looks like it was the evolution that God of War needed, though, because if they went with the same conventional gameplay that the previous God of Wars did, it would have failed because people were getting tired of that. You know, so when I look at it, like I didn't see the new trailer, and I probably won't now, but because everyone's taking it down. But like I'm like, man, this is exactly what God of War needed. If they went over that semi almost top down perspective where there was just that constant button mashing gameplay, I think people would have been like,
Well, I've actually been on record. I'm one of those few people. I actually hated God of War. The early ones, I didn't like it because they were so button mashy, and Kratos was such a ridiculously powerful character. I found the stories boring. This new one, 100% on board.
Interesting. So you didn't like how it was before as much, where you're jumping you're jumping all over the place. You can't jump in this new one.
No, not at all. For some reason, it looks like somebody broke the poor guy's legs.
I mean, he's older now, right? How old is he supposed to be now?
I don't know, 500. I don't know. He has pretty manly beard.
He's getting up there, yeah. It's out in. I'm surprised. Where did this gameplay come from? Because it's not out for another month.
It's April 20th. Well, so 2 days ago, they invited all the really big YouTubers to come to the Sony Santa Monica studio, and they were able to play the first 2 hours of the game and record all of it. And I think the rules were you could record 2 hours of it, but you can only show 10 minutes of it. So that thing that got posted by accident was somebody's like gameplay montage, which is why it shows a store, a puzzle, and a bunch of different combat sections. Because it's just like, okay, we have 10 minutes to show this game off. And they accidentally leaked it.
It's interesting.
Yeah, I was gonna say, quote unquote.
Well, they're definitely. I mean, you don't want to leak something like that. They're definitely gonna get blacklisted by Sony, most likely.
Yeah. You don't like, oh look, I tripped over a rock and leaked a whole bunch of gameplay of a highly anticipated game.
Yeah,
that was very
with my name at the start in giant flashing text. It literally says their website name. It's like, oh yikes, you're done.
Why would you? People are so stupid. Anyway.
Yeah. That's great. Oh man. Yeah, it's I guess it's are they even getting any real fame from it at this point? Sony probably just cut him out already.
Yeah, I'm sure they just took him out back and shot him in the head.
Yeah, okay, we'll go with that. It got dark there for a minute, man.
I got a little Apple.
Yeah. The Nindies. Did you guys see the announcement from Nintendo for the Nindies? Their Nintendo Indies presentation they're going to do. They did this last year, where they showed off some stuff, and it was pretty cool. I think that's actually where we saw, for the first time anyway, our look at Travis Strikes Back. Travis Strikes Again.
Yeah.
That's the first time we saw that. So what are we expecting here at the Nindies this time? I mean, what can they show? What indie games are people looking for? I guess. I mean, I'm trying to figure out what indie games they're going to bring to this thing. But
well, they'll probably have Morphe's Law with a release date, because I know a lot of people
forgot about that. Yeah,
have been asking about that. I don't know. I mean, the thing about indies is, a lot of these companies, like, look at how fast Outlast appeared on the system. Like, it's not a process where it takes, a year to put your indie game on the system. It could be done in literally weeks now. So I think there'll be some new stuff on there. I think Morphe's Law will definitely be on there, but I think you're going to end up seeing some new games that maybe you didn't expect to see.
Okay.
Nintendo's being very smart with embracing the indie scene as much as they are, because I think that'll be the mainstay of the Switch in the long run, because it's hardware limitations. You're not going to be able to have every single AAA game on there, even though we're seeing a lot more than I even expected that we would. But it's these indie games that I think will really push the Switch forward, especially a couple years down the line. And if Nintendo doesn't do like a mid-gen refresh, even though I think they will, I think indie games will be very important to the Switch. So I think Nintendo knows that. That's why they're embracing them as much as they are now.
Hey, someone mentioned Firewatch. That'd be a cool indie game as well.
Cool.
It could totally do Firewatch too.
Yeah, really could.
I also saw Dust and Elysian Tale. That's an awesome game. If you haven't played it, that game is awesome. Sean, remember we were talking about before we went on stream?
What?
John, remember I told you, I said there's no way we would get to 500 likes in the stream. Right?
Oh yeah.
And look at that. It's I told you it wasn't going to happen.
200.
Great.
There's
working out.
There's almost 1,200 people watching, and there's only 200 likes.
Yeah, that's great.
Don't even bother. Don't even bother.
Working? I know. Yeah. Also, Urcha Gaming is here moderating. Thank you. And I saw Rax as well. So thanks to the moderators.
Rax is my dude, man.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you to them. Go check them both out. Go check them both out.
The only indie game I'm dying to see, and it's not really even officially announced for Switch yet, but I can tell they're trying to put it on everything, is The Messenger. Have y'all seen that? It's like Ninja Gaiden, but it actually goes back and forth between 8-bit and 16-bit. So in levels, there will be these time travel portals, and it's basically like going between generations of NES and SNES. And you need to go between them because you have different abilities that are only usable in the 8-bit world or the 16-bit world. And it looks super cool. I got to play a little bit at PAX South, and wow, it's one of those games that I feel like when you see a trailer, you're like, okay, and then like you play it, and you're like, oh, I get it.
What if first off, I did look that up and it looks sweet. It looks like it was something I would love.
Yeah.
What if Fortnite was at the thing now?
That's
a
possibility.
Is that something they could do as Epic? Could they fit into the indie scene like that?
I don't really know.
No, I would assume like maybe an E3.
You're right. I was about to say the same thing. I see that as an E3 drop. Especially with how much of a momentum is behind Fortnite right now. That would be an E3 thing to do.
I hope they can get it. I talked to the Fortnite team some. In fact, they're mailing me T-shirts and stuff this week. And I don't know if it's coming to Switch yet. I guarantee you they're definitely testing it. I'm sure internally they're trying to scramble and get it on Switch. I don't know how far away that is, though. Obviously, they have a team that got it to work on cell phones, but I don't know.
Yeah, it works on
optimistic
well too. Apparently works really well.
I
mean, I could see that happening out of nowhere, kind of like the cell phone thing. They just sent out a press release. It just showed up in my inbox, and I was like, Fortnite on cell phones? Yeah. This Fortnite on cell phones, and like a week and a half later, it's out on iOS. Yep.
Yeah.
So it was like, wow.
There's a video going around on Twitter that's really funny. It says when you run into a cell phone player in Fortnite, and it's this guy, and he's in a house, and there's this person with a gun, literally like trying to, and it's just like the dance emojis all around him, like, come on, buddy, right here. And it's just
how is that gonna work, especially with touch controls compared to like a gamepad or a mouse and keyboard? You're just gonna be bullet fodder, man.
Yeah, I mean,
it's just.
I think it'll really come down to how well of a phone you have. But I mean, there are a lot of things they're probably going to have to modify, because you think of RuneScape, old school RuneScape's coming to mobile as well, and they're having to modify a few things too, because they know people who are going to be going for that GP per hour. They're going to be spamming that touchscreen ability because you can do it so much faster than with an actual mouse. So some things they might have an advantage over as far as building or as far as switching for your inventory, but maybe aiming, that is something that I feel like people who try it are going to have to work on.
So as weird as it is, I've played a little bit on cell phones. Aiming is not a problem. I actually feel like they did it really well. It's the building that's really messed up.
Is it more difficult?
Yes, because your screen is so tiny. And so because of it, what happens is your inventory is a series of buttons, and you basically press build or you press shoot to switch between your gun inventory and your building inventory. And since it's your teeny tiny phone screen, you're literally just being like, no, not ramp. No, I'm dead.
Oh, crap. Okay.
What'd you guys think of that, while we're on the topic of Fortnite real quick, what'd you guys think of that Fortnite stream the other night with Drake and Ninja?
Dude, I actually rewatched it. I loved it so much. I literally, the next day I had some time off and I rewatched it. It was so entertaining. That was such a great moment.
It was interesting. They had like 650,000 people watching, right? Like,
I think it was the most viewed, simultaneously viewed stream ever.
Well, no, individual, because technically there was a competition. There was like a League of Legends competition that had over 1 million concurrent viewers, but that's considered a team stream.
That's
so
like
biggest individual streamer ever.
What was he doing there? I don't think he would just.
He was just a voice chat. I mean, probably, I don't know. Did you think that freaking Epic had something to do with it? Like, hey, can we get you to promote our game? I don't think it was. I think Ninja is just.
No, they had text from what's his name? The guy who did Mega
Chester.
Upload or whatever.
Kim.com, Kim. Nick Chester, the official PR guy for Fortnite, officially went on record and said, no, like, we had nothing to do with this. Like,
that's awesome.
they're like, we're literally, I'm not gonna lie to you, we're all high-fiving each other in the office because we just had 1 million new people download the game in a day.
Yeah.
So we're happy about this. And it's like, but at the same time, we didn't pay anybody. This literally was a guy who likes the game talking to another guy who likes the game. They're like, this is just one of those monumental firework touchdown shows of coincidence.
Did you see that text exchange that Kim.com, I get the person and Drake had, where he was like, "Oh, I love Ninja. I would love to play with him." And like an hour later, he's jumping in his game.
Yeah,
makes sense.
That's insane.
And then when they kicked him out to bring in that football player dude, it's like, "Oh, sorry, Kim, but we can only have 4 people in the squad. Bye."
Juju Smith or whatever. Yeah, he actually did a Kamea wave after he scored for the Steelers in one game.
He posted a really great video on Twitter today where he was like running into play and he tackles somebody and the dude just falls down the ground like he exploded and somebody photoshopped it so it looked like he fell down and dropped a bunch of loot in Fortnite.
Oh my gosh.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm trying to think of any other Nindies that I'm not thinking of. Undertale, I think, needs a date, right? That's coming sometime this year.
Yeah, they said 2018.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think
did they? I thought they said eventually.
No, it said 2018.
They put out a press release. Yeah, they're using
okay.
They're using Game Maker Studio to move it over because that's now compatible with the Switch, which is interesting. But they put out a press release that went out to press and it said that it is coming 2018.
Nice.
So that's probably something you'll get a release date for, I assume. Wargroove, that's a great game. It looks good, really good right now. It looks kind of like what Tiny Metal should have been, kind of. Yeah. Well,
Tiny Metal had so many damn problems.
Yeah, it did. Wargroove actually looks really cool.
It looks like Advance Wars.
Yeah, and it has like Mario Maker kind of stuff mixed in because you can build your own levels and then share them online.
Yeah, I'm stoked for that.
And that's Doug E. Thanks for the $5. I'm going to read all super chat messages, guys, at 10:30 p.m. Just keep things rolling. And we'll have a little Q&A session then before we finish up. So that'll be fun. But so I think it'll probably end up being last time it was like a 20-minute presentation, wasn't it? It was kind of long.
Yeah.
For Indies, yeah. So that's going to be fun. That's on Tuesday, noon my time, 9 a.m. Pacific time. I'll be watching that. And did you guys see the tweet that was put out by FDG about Blossom Tales, about how it passed the Steam version by a lot? It actually sold 20 times more on the Switch, and because of that, they can actually continue. They're actually going to stay in business.
That's awesome.
Wow. I mean, that's the trend though that's happening. They're selling the indie games are selling better on Switch than on any other platform again because you get more value for it.
Yeah, and you can play in bed, dude. Come on.
Yeah,
I got Rocket League. I have it on Steam, and I bought Rocket League for my bed. The frick.
Yeah, that and Steam is just completely covered in shovelware. Like it's bad. It's really bad right now.
Yeah, it's definitely really bad.
That's something I've noticed is a lot of the indie studios are actually pushing the Switch version harder now than any other console. Like a lot of times when I get an email, they're like, "Hey, we're making this game. Which consoles do you own?" And it's like, "Oh, this, and this." They're always like, "Oh, do you want to review it on Switch?" I definitely noticed that everybody realizes like, "Oh yeah, the Switch is where people are buying the heck out of stuff. Like push the Switch."
Yep, I hadn't heard of Blossom Tales until it showed up on Steam, and it had been out on PC for a while. And awesome game, by the way. If you haven't played Blossom Tales, it's like Link to the Past, Zelda. Like it's amazing.
Oh,
I love that game. And it's not the longest game. I think it's like 8 hours or something, but it's like $10-15. Completely worth it. Super worth it. So I would check it out. But that's going to keep them in business. So pretty cool to see that.
I think that's so important though. Sorry, I didn't mean to. But we were talking last night because I was on Nintendo Talks channel for Planet Nintendo, and they were talking about essentially a lot of people, are complaining about all these ports or all these indie games coming over, and people are like, "This is not what we want." But the thing is, the Wii U had a reverse. Like it's ramping up for the Switch and it ramped down really bad for the Wii U. So to us, it's like it's exciting, because you realize this is what Nintendo really needs. But not just that, like if you want better quality games or you want more of the games that you want, you need to support these creators and you need to support and give the money and the backing behind to put more of what you want to come to the future. I don't know. I thought that was really cool though to see, people actually being able to succeed and fulfill that and show that it's possible.
But I think the good thing is that it's that people actually want the games. I always want to see a game organically supported for the fact that people enjoy it. And that's what I think is good, because I've always seen people in the past be like, come on, buy the game so they make more. And it never works. But when people actually are excited about the product, which they are about the Switch, and they're excited about the games, this is what you see. This is the byproduct of it. And it's a great thing.
Yeah, Kamiko is another one. That's like a $5 game, I think.
Yeah.
And it was made by 2 people, and they sold over 100,000 copies on Switch. I think that was like 3-4 months ago they reported that, so probably even more by now.
I think Oceanhorn's an interesting one. Oceanhorn was originally made for cell phones, didn't really sell at all. They ported it to PS4 and basically sold it as, look, it's basically Wind Waker Zelda, but on the PlayStation 4, and it sold decently, and they used that money to port it to Switch, and all of a sudden Nintendo people were like, oh my gosh, there's an extra Zelda on the Switch, and now it's selling like hotcakes. And so they've basically been walking around with this fantastic game for 2 years, trying to find an audience for it, and now it's finally taken off, and people are like, oh, this is on everything? I can't believe it.
Max, are you trying to tell me that a reskinned Zelda type game would sell well on a Nintendo platform?
I know, shocking news. This will be headlines tomorrow.
Yeah. I think that's why Blossom Tales. It's seriously, you play it, it's Link to the Past. It's pretty awesome. I like it a lot. Do you guys want to talk a bit about Smash Bros, since that was like the hot topic this week? I was trying to figure out, and I think I have it kind of figured out, but I wanted to see what you guys' thoughts on this were. What do you think the release date is on Smash? Because people are like zooming in on like trailer and stuff like that, and that's cool and all, but I'm thinking more along the lines of where does it fit in for Nintendo's, I guess, holiday releases at this point? Because we know Fire Emblem's going to be there at this point. We know, I think Pokemon's going to be there. But I'm curious what you guys think about where this is going to fit in Smash Bros.
My theory, and I'm willing to put my claim on this, is I think they're going to try and do another December 1st release, because that worked really well with Xenoblade Chronicles 2 to basically wait for every other major shooter to get out, every big RPG to go out, and then they put their game out. So I think that Nintendo realizes that is actually a time frame that can sell like hotcakes. Everybody just gets out of the way if you put it out in December. So I 100% think we're going to see another December 1st release.
Okay. I was actually thinking it could come in 2019, but that's just me. I thought maybe they just wanted to put it out there that they're working on it to get people excited. It could very well come at the end of 2018, but there's also Nintendo has delayed games before quite a bit, so it could actually come in 2019. They just wanted to get like a little seed out there to say, hey, it's happening, definitely, to get people amped. But it would be smart if they came out within December 2018 if they can, without rushing it.
I think it'll be 2018. I think it'll definitely be November or December, though. I don't think it'll be like October-ish or anything like that.
Okay.
I mean, what a game to go into the holiday season with to sell more Switches. Too.
Yeah,
they'll have a holiday 2017 all over again.
Oh yeah,
they're gonna start having to build Switches now just to stock up for them.
So I'm gonna tell you guys when I think it's coming out, because I have an actual day picked out for it.
Oh wow.
And people are gonna think I'm crazy, and that's fine. I'm gonna a bit of a bold prediction here, I guess. In this case, Smash JT, what's up, man? You're a moderator now. It's coming out again. You can. I don't have any inside knowledge or anything on it, but it's coming out September 21st is what I have it pegged for. I think it's going to launch alongside the online service. I think that's how they're going to sell the online service starting out.
Oh, okay. Okay, that would make sense.
Marcus Sellers was saying that. I don't know. That seems really soon to me.
But does it make sense though? Because they technically delayed the online service release as well. I mean, wouldn't it make sense? They're like, oh, well, we might need a motivation. We might need some of its own advertisement to do that. They talked
about standing up servers. I'm thinking dedicated servers for Smash Bros. I'm thinking actual voice chat, not us having to use our phone. Because
won't somebody think of the children?
The only thing we have on the phone right now? They haven't added anything since Splatoon.
Right.
That's true.
Like Payday can't get on there, and they want to.
Right.
The most interesting thing about Switch Online is Do y'all remember there was an investor call where Nintendo investors were talking to like Nintendo headquarters, and one of the investors asked, how are you going to actually sell the Nintendo online service? You're not releasing any details. And Nintendo just said, when the trailer comes out, everybody will be jumping on board. Don't worry. So if you're making a claim like that, I think maybe Smash Bros is a good thing to just put in your trailer like, hi, yes, Nintendo Online. Check out all this way where you can tell somebody to F themselves with Mario and Smash Bros.
I mean, as long as they keep the mute button close. Like whenever I play Halo back in the day, and Rich, I'm sure you remember this too, because I know you played a lot of Halo 3 like I played Halo 3.
Crap ton.
It was very easy to hold back and then go down and then pick someone's name and then hit mute right away. Very easy.
A lot of games now have the mute all. I like all the shooters that have mute all. Like Call of Duty, literally you just press a button where if you're holding the scoreboard button, you just press square and it mutes everybody.
Oh.
Yeah. I think that's a good idea. Make it very easy. And if you have parental controls on, they should add in that you can just turn off all communications for your kids if you want.
Yeah,
that's fine. Now I have no problem with that. But make it so you can do that, and dedicated servers, some kind of tournament mode. Basically, go all out with Smash Bros. Because I don't think they need to continue building a Smash Bros. Every so many years anymore. Because I think they can build off of one that they really like, just make perfect almost.
Right.
Sakurai only has so many hands, so. Yeah. Last time I was looking through some articles, people were telling me that, and like he had like tendonitis and stuff, and had a hard time with motion in his hand and stuff. Like, man, but he said he's been working on this thing for about 2.5 years now, from what I remember.
Completely in silence. Yeah. When I saw that, I love the meme that someone made of a picture of his face, and it's like, don't ask me for anything ever again.
And he looks so exhausted. I love that picture where it's just like, this is what I'm doing for you.
Well, hopefully they have people like interns or something helping him. So, like, seriously, getting his coffee,
holding up his arms and just typing with them.
I hope they're picking his brain though, for real, because I feel like there's some greats at Nintendo that, like when the generation is passed on, they got some big shoes to fill. So
I assume Nintendo is going to try to have a release for every month. And like cause they did that recently. What they have in November? Did they have anything in November, or was that a try month for them? Because I know they had Doom and they had Skyrim.
Those and then just third-party games in November.
Yeah, but then in December they had Xenoblade, something I couldn't believe they were able to get out in 2018. And of course we had Mario. We had Fire Emblem Warriors. I'm trying to figure out what their holiday is going to look like now. We can talk about that real quick before we move on. Because if we know Smash appears to be coming out this year, but what else would they bring in? I guess Fire Emblem's another 2018 game.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of the rumors are pointing towards Pokemon. It's hard for me to believe it, but
I think Pokemon's their December release going.
If they can get Pokemon out this year, the Switch is going to take off more than any other console has ever taken off. Because from day one, ever since people first got addicted to Pokemon, the thing people kept being is like, what if this was a full console experience where I could just literally walk up to Pikachu and punch him in his face? And now we can...
with HD Rumble.
Yeah, with motion control. You're actually doing its arms Pokemon.
When is Tropical Freeze dropping for the Switch? I don't they have a date, right?
Oh, I don't. I thought they gave us one because it has to coincide with obviously the Funky Edition. Let me see.
Because that's the game I like to jump back into. I played a little bit for the Wii U back in the day, but I enjoyed it. I just never got back around to playing it again.
May 4th, according to Amazon.
Okay.
That's I think that's actually a pretty good, that's less than 2 months away, right?
Star Wars Day, man. Yeah.
And that's the thing, people are complaining about the ports, but you have to realize the Wii U had a lot of great games, but it was a dead system. So a lot of people didn't play these games. And
horrible marketing.
Oh, yeah. And it wasn't even, I actually like the Wii U better than the Wii. I know that's blasphemous to a lot of people, but, like these games, now that you have this system that you can't keep on store shelves, it bring it to this console, and now you have this. You can play them portably and at home. So do it. I'm okay with it.
It's free games. Like straight up porting a lot of these games is so minimal, and stuff like Captain Toad Treasure Tracker was so obscure. I think that sold like 1.2 million units.
That was a good game, wasn't it?
Which is
hell of a game.
It is
a lot of people liked
super good game. Yes, I put it on my list of top 10 best Wii U games ever because it is actually that legit, and nobody in the world played it. So now finally we can put it in front of an audience again and cash that check twice.
And it has Odyssey levels. That's why I'm buying it again.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's on the 3DS also.
Yeah.
Yeah,
3DS is in its twilight, even though Nintendo won't admit it yet. Because I think Nintendo has a lot of faith in the Switch, and but they still think they're not 100% sure it's going to do well long term. So like, let's just keep the Switch in a corner here, just in case. Just in case, and then like I'm telling you, someone said it in my stream today too, and I kind of agree with them. The day we see a Switch Mini is the day that it's like officially the axe to the 3DS.
Yeah,
good point.
I love the idea of a Switch Mini. I'm 1,000,000% on board with the idea of a Switch Mini. I think the only reason the 3DS still exists at all is because of the old as hell dudes at Nintendo who are like, no, there's so many hundreds of millions of dollars. Like they just can't.
Wow, really good.
They can't let it go.
Yeah, I mean, it's had a hell of a run. The system. It's been out about 7 years, maybe not 7 yet. 2011 is when they dropped it. I mean, it's sold 70 million plus worldwide when no one thought it would sell anything because everyone thought that, including me, I'll kind of admit it, to be honest with you, that I thought that cell phones were just going to fill that void. And here we are, so it's had its run. The Switch has taken over those shoes. It's a more powerful system. The graphics on the 3DS do look terrible. I don't think anyone will disagree with that at this point. They're long in the tooth. It's time, man. You can let it go, Nintendo. We're good.
What exactly would be the benefit though of a Switch Mini?
Cheaper for kids, cheaper.
Yeah. Okay.
That's all I can think of.
Because the biggest thing that I hear from everybody, because I made a video saying it's time to stop making 3DS games, and I got a lot of hate for it. And the number one thing people said to me,
I agree.
And the number one thing people said to me is, what are my kids going to play? Like the 3DS is still the kids' device. So I think what they're going to do is they're going to make a budget Switch where the Wiimotes, the Joy-Cons don't come off. It's got a harder screen, and it's going to be one of those things where like it's literally just going to be a tinier, harder Switch.
They could probably make it a little more like able to take drop, like a rough and tumble kind of.
I think it's going to have
that actually be a really good idea.
I think it's going to have slightly beveled edges, like a lot of the original DS shape where it had that slightly domed top.
Yeah, and then they have to do something where they have some. I understand for kids they didn't want to do glass. But first off, it's actually more adults that I know anyway playing the Switch than I know kids. And if they do come out with a smaller Switch for the kids, they got to have some kind of Gorilla Glass that won't shatter. I know what they're worried about. They're worried about kids cutting themselves. But if they have the right kind of like laminate on the glass, it'll just kind of do that eggshell thing where it doesn't fall apart. Because having a plastic screen with kids, I mean, you put your Switch in the dock without the tempered glass cover on there, I'll see scuffs, and kids, that's just like a recipe for the screen's going to look like they have cataracts by the end of the day. It's going to be have like a haze across the whole damn screen. So
you're exactly right.
I will tell people to the end of time that the 3DS probably has one of the best lineups I've ever seen because it also has that DS lineup too.
Yeah, that's true.
So if you're looking into like systems like those PSPs and stuff, get a 3DS if you just want something to go in the backlog because you'll get lost in that.
Would you say 3DS or 2D XL?
I guess I would say a 2DS XL then. I don't know. The 3DS, the screen on the 3DS, while it's smaller, fits the resolution better. Because I mean, you're stretching.
I can tell you that firsthand. Yeah,
you're stretching that 240p screen. It's like
you're stretching those pixels out, man. You can almost like pick out a pixel. Sense. Pixels are like the size of a meatball on the 2DS XL.
I mean, I like the way the 2DS
come back with accurate number.
I picture Rich in one of his videos getting out a ruler and being like, "Yep, there's one pixel right there."
But again, you're looking at almost 7-year-old tech, so you can't hate on it.
We're coming up on the 10 o'clock hour. I just want to remind you guys we're here tonight with Rich from Review Tech and then MissClick from MissClick Gaming. So make sure you're checking them out because they have some pretty cool stuff on YouTube. And are you guys also Rich? Are you also jumping over to Twitch as well to stream here and there?
Do it.
I know I really should. The problem is that it's a time management issue, but I really should. I've actually told people over at Twitch are great. I've actually talked to more people there ever than I've ever talked to on YouTube. So yeah, it's going to happen. I wish.
Bleed purple. Do it, Rich.
Quick question for you. You would actually know. Is it against TOS to simulstream?
So I actually used to do that. If you're not affiliated and you're not partnered, you don't have an exclusivity. So you can, as long as you're not affiliated, don't accept affiliation, don't accept partnership, you can stream to as many platforms as you want. I just use Restream.
I am partnered there. That's the thing. So that's why
On Twitch?
Yeah, on Twitch I'm partnered.
Really?
Yes, I've been partnered there for a while. And it's
Well,
still
you might have negotiation terms though, because of the fact your scale. So you might be able to talk to them and be like, "Yo, this is what I want."
I'll have to, because I know that's what held me back. It's just I can't, because YouTube, between streaming and doing my daily, almost daily videos now, I just can't make a separate form of content for them. It's just physically impossible. So
yeah, well, I mean, if you're live streaming to another channel and they haven't said anything to you, you're probably okay. I would just tell them like, hey, like what's going on. But there's Restream.io is like the best way to stream to 2 different platforms at the same time. I did that for a while before I accepted. Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right, I'll have to talk to them.
Yeah,
fair enough. Very good. Yes, but make sure you are checking them out. And MissClick, you also stream on Twitch, right?
I do.
Okay. Yes. Make sure you check. Do we have your links, guys? Evan's usually here for this to drop people's links in the chat.
I saw him doing it. Yeah, someone was doing it.
Okay.
Someone says I'd be fine on Twitch because they favor titty streamers. So I guess I have to show some favorites on
man, I thought they were like the police going around on Twitch for that now. Like the people
TOS did just tighten up. They did just do an update probably around the 5th, I want to say. They just put that into effect. So
no, I saw like an article on Kotaku where like self-appointed police are going around.
Yeah, you would have people who would raid. They like made this whole Discord community about it, and they'd be like, okay, we're going to go raid this person.
They're weirdos.
Oh, man.
Yeah, too much time on their hands.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, there's many people with way too much time on their hands doing that stuff.
Okay. Yep. What do you guys think about Final Fantasy VII Remake? I wanted to get into that because there was a job listing that popped up that implied that they're still hiring for core members, and we haven't heard anything about it since, what was it, Max, 2015 at E3?
Yes. So
that's the last time we heard about it, right?
So yeah, and I want to, so technically the last time we heard about it was a couple months ago. We saw new screenshots of they did a special art museum exhibit in Japan, and you had to pay to get in there, but there were a couple new screenshots that only existed in this exhibit, and they had a guard there, so you weren't even allowed to take photographs of it. One of my fans actually managed to have glasses that took pictures, and he sent me photographs of it because
oh my gosh,
they're psychopaths in Japan. But anyways, so really weird that they're so silent. A lot of people are claiming that job listing is old. It's not. It is not. It's been updated. The reason it's back in the news is because that job listing was updated with new information underneath the hiring core members. So that is still a thing. That means they're still trying to hire people to design levels and stuff, which means the game is so in the early stages. It just, I'm so disappointed because my thing is at this point, I just want a demo of it to even know that it's being real.
Would you realize that like Final Fantasy VII Remake has been on and off kind of a thing since before the PS3 has been released?
Yep. Yeah. Since the original tech demo.
Can we just come out with the goddamn game already or not? Like, it's just Jesus Christ, man.
That's Square.
It's because in 2012 there was an official interview with the director. It was Nakamura did an interview, and he said, "I will never, ever remake Final Fantasy VII because it'd be too painful. That way I'd be like repainting my greatest painting of all time." And now here we are in 2017, and it's like, I'd like to hire more people for my remake, please.
Oh man. That's the thing. Someone has to get on them. Someone has to be like, gotta get this done. They had to bring in the guy from Mobius Final Fantasy just to get that thing on track.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I still think it might be a PS5 game.
I think it will be.
That's my fear. I don't
think it's coming out.
They're going to make me buy another system for this game. Oh, man.
Or it's just never going to come out, and they're just going to finally throw in the towel with next-gen systems.
Yeah. Max, I was talking about this in a video today. Help me out here. There are some scenes in Final Fantasy VII that I think would be really hard for them to remake.
Like which ones?
Well, there was one I pointed out because I know they're going to want a teen rating, right? I don't think they're going to want a mature rating for that. There was one where obviously the stuff in like the different research and experiment labs where you have obviously that scene where Cloud looks in and sees the thing without its head and everything.
Yeah, Genova headless. Yeah,
yep.
With her top off. Yeah, that's definitely a little bit. Yeah,
there's a scene where Cloud just beats the crap out of Aerith.
Oh, when he's mind controlled.
Yes, he just starts beating her senseless. And I think Yuffie has to, or Vincent, whoever you have, has to hit him back in the back of the head. But people were talking about how there's all this stuff they retcon. They'd have to, like, with the improved visuals and everything, they would have to, like, fix everything up, and it'd be very difficult.
It is, but I feel like they could still have those scenes in there. They would have to be toned down, though. You definitely, because the way that they animated a lot of that stuff in a very anime style, which is like very quick and rapid at times. So you definitely couldn't have him walk up and just being like, instead he's got to be like, I'm sorry, Eris, I'm currently being mind controlled.
Yeah. They'd have to come up with some ways around that. But I don't know I don't know when we're going to see it. It might be a PS5 game, because now we're hearing about PS5 stuff already. So
yeah, which I filmed a video about that, and it's probably going to come out next week. But there are a lot of rumors about the PS5, and I just want to say publicly, they're all fake. I've definitely reached out.
Yeah, they are. They're all fake.
I reached out to a lot of my sources to double check, because one of the main rumors going around is that PS5 development kits are in the wild. That is lies. That is not.
I didn't hear about that one.
Yeah, people are saying that officially that people are now able to, if they want, begin development PlayStation 5 games for a 2019 window. I reached out to every source I have, and that appears to be a flat out lie.
That would be insane for them, because they just came basically in 2017. I understand it was late 2016. They came out with the PS4 Pro. Mm-hmm. How can you tell people barely 2 years and change later to go out and buy another system?
Yeah.
That would be like, that's Sega all over again.
I honestly think the main reason they're probably delaying it, if nothing else, to not cramp their own console, but also because of the Switch. The Switch is taking over such a big chunk of the market. You have to release your console at a time when you know people are going to have the spare money to buy something. Like, there's a reason they waited so long to release the Xbox One after the Xbox 360. They knew at that point everybody was clamoring for new hardware. At this point, no one's really clamoring for new hardware.
It took a long time for them because there was the recession of 2008. Yeah, man, that was a long generation, man.
Yeah.
Those consoles were long in the tooth when the 8th gen came around.
So are we thinking 2019 for systems at all, or 2020?
No,
or
2020 at least.
At least. I would actually say realistically 2021 if they want to not piss off anybody.
Yeah.
From what I've heard from an inside source at Microsoft, the Xbox 2 is basically complete. The hardware, the internal, and the programming. There is an Xbox 2, which is going to be the official successor name of the Xbox One. As bad as that name is, literally spelled TWO. And from everything I've heard, they do want that out in 2019. So Microsoft apparently is trying to beat them to the punch because they're terrified of the PlayStation 5.
I guess they want to beat themselves in the head, too. They just came out with the X.
Well, the weird thing also is because they just came out with a press release today, apparently, about how they're trying to shift gears almost entirely towards PC.
We're gonna talk about that soon. That's actually probably the big topic of the night is Microsoft, because there are some very sad, very angry people even online right now talking about this, and that's going to be probably the bigger topic we'll get into probably in the next couple minutes now. But I know where you're going, Max, with the cloud and everything.
Yeah, just it's so ridiculous.
Yeah. So, but I don't know. That'd be weird. Although they know there's people like me who will buy it when it comes out. So it come out tomorrow, and I'd be like, "Guess I gotta buy that Xbox too." Although I'm, the normal consumers aren't gonna do that. Probably, I would assume not.
Well, I feel like
I bought the Xbox One X, and I'm, I'd still go out and buy that.
Even early adopters, I just feel like their opening install base would be so paltry.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah. They'd have to convince somebody, like, with a new Fable or something. That's not coming, though.
Well, even at Halo, I feel like Microsoft brands are so weakened at this point. Like, even if they came out and said, hey, okay, the Xbox 2 is coming out in May of 2019, and it's going to have Halo 6, Fable 4, and also this thing that's just literally your ex-girlfriend looking hot or whatever. Like, anything they could possibly promise, people still aren't going to buy it.
The next Panzer Dragoon?
Yeah, exactly. Panzer Dragoon.
I mean, can I ask a question though? Essentially, at what point though do the consoles just become a PC?
They kind of already are. I mean,
that's
Xbox
what I was gonna say.
Windows.
The architecture is x86, just like x86 64, like a PC.
Well, that's kind of where Microsoft's going even right now. But like I said, we'll get in that soon. What were you saying, Rich?
Well, my thing is with what can they like say? I still feel that. And not that, Max, I don't trust your sources. I'm sure
no.
But it's what would you you came out with the Xbox One X, which some may argue, and I almost half agree with them, could actually have been a next-gen system. Okay. What can you offer in not even 2 years' time that would be that much better? It would just be more 4K-er. Like, okay, so we have everything 4K running at 60, which I bet you the new hardware wouldn't even be able to do if they actually come out with it in 2019, because the chips wouldn't have matured enough yet, so the cost would be down low enough for that to happen. There wouldn't be any jump. It would just...
Some theorist, I don't remember who, somebody was talking about this, and I thought it was really interesting. This is not from an official source, but I heard somebody speculate, what if they announced the Xbox 2, and part of the announcement is that all Xbox 2 games actually work on the Xbox One X?
I saw that. That was I saw that. I know who that was.
Was that Andre Segers?
That was Andre Segers. That's probably the worst idea I've seen in a while.
I think that would just be like, okay, so even less of a reason to go out and buy the Xbox.
The reason they,
but it would be a way. So everything I've heard is that the Xbox 2 is actually selling beyond expectations. The Xbox One X is selling beyond expectations. So maybe that'll just be a weird way to double down. I don't know. This whole thing is getting so sloppy.
My problem with that, though, is that if that's the case and Xbox 2 works on Xbox One, it's going to be CPU bound still. Because that would concern me heavily, because the Xbox One is getting.
Well, what I'm hearing is now. I'm sorry to mean to cut you off.
No, you're fine. Good.
I'm hearing that they're actually going to use Ryzen for the CPU architecture in the next systems. That's pretty much been all but confirmed. Is that the PS4 and the next PlayStation and the next Xbox are going to be Ryzen, and they're going to get, because basically the chips that are inside of at least the base PS4 and Xbox One, and I know the PS4 Pro is just an overclock version of the same chip, pretty much, is based on mobile architecture, those cores.
Yep.
So
it's basically a laptop. I think you can actually buy it. Like, you can actually get the stupid Jaguar laptop CPU.
Yeah, that's been a huge, especially for the base systems, a huge bottleneck. It wasn't even the GPU, it was the CPU that would hold back the frame rates and things like that, because they were just such anemic processors in there. So the next one, they're not going to have Ryzen in them, but it's just, even still, like, we need more. And 2019, if you have inside sources, there may be a lot of validity to it, but 2019 is too soon.
Yes. Well, so the whole thing is, everything that's been told to me is that they're just panicking. Like, Microsoft is glad that the Xbox One has sold as much as they has, but they are internally terrified that if they even announce a PlayStation 5, nothing could ever keep up with it. Like, the day that the PlayStation 5 is announced, nothing Microsoft could ever say will ever keep up. So their plan is to just at least show a trailer or something to get out there first.
Who gives? Why would they be terrified? They should be terrified because it's their own damn fault, because they got no exclusives.
I'm sure they realize that, but at this point, so the Xbox 360, so the way it was phrased to me when this was told to me was how the Xbox 360 came out a full year before the PlayStation 3, and then they were ahead for like 6 years in the console market. So
you're right. But that's not what saved the 360. It was also the disastrous launch of the PS3.
Yeah.
The disastrously high price of the PS3.
Well, and more than anything else, the Xbox 360 has been one of the easiest consoles to develop for at all time. People said that it was literally the first ever PC in a box type of console. So everybody was putting every game on it at the start.
Yeah, it was pretty easy from what everyone was saying compared to the PS3, which is a nightmare.
Yeah,
asymmetrical processors.
It was essentially like what the Saturn was to the PlayStation 1. It was a pain in the ass to develop.
Yeah. Naughty Dog was probably the only company that really did a good job with the PS3.
So many of the ports sucked on the PS3, especially within those first 2-3 years.
A lot of the ports initially, when the PS3 was first launched, if there was ports that were multiplats, they would just use the main core of the cell processor.
Yeah.
And so they use a single core when those games were multi-threaded on the 360, so they would run like dog shit.
Well, and crash constantly. There was the really famous thing of somebody tried to sue them because Portal on PlayStation 3 would crash so much that people actually tried to do a class action lawsuit and say, you're literally selling a broken game.
I didn't know that.
That's why That's actually why we specifically didn't get Left 4 Dead 2 on there. Because remember, they were making Left 4 Dead 2 on Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. It was officially announced for both. And then that lawsuit came up, and they just quietly canceled it for PS3, being like, let's just patch Portal and move on and just count our losses.
Sean, is that you are you in the chat telling people to like the stream right now?
No, that's a fake name.
I thought I saw. If we get to 1,000 likes, it's your fault, Sean.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a fake me in the comment section that's telling people to donate too.
I thought I hit them.
That's not me. By the way, if you're seeing him, I'm not telling you. I'm not like sitting.
Oh, you know what? I might have hid them from me. I thought I hid them from the entire channel. I saw that, Rich, though, right away.
No, I think they're hidden from the whole channel.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was just making sure.
I haven't seen them in a while.
Yeah, every time they go past it, it says hidden by.
Okay, I just want to make sure. Yeah, I saw that right away, though, Rich.
Yeah, but Gabe's rage towards the PS3 was palpable.
Oh, yeah.
That man did not like that system. He wasn't even super thrilled with the 360 either.
Oh man, that's fun. All right, do you guys want to talk about the Microsoft's interesting future? Did everyone see this article? I think everyone did because it went all over the internet, where they were talking about investing in their cloud-based services, and they talked about how Rainbow Six Siege is actually using Microsoft servers even for the PS4 at this point. But it really got people concerned because it sounds like they want to develop for cloud gaming, so the cloud actually does computations and works for their systems rather than build local boxes. I'm really curious what you guys' take is on this entire thing because it really blew up online and people seem either terrified or actually kind of excited. I
think in 2012, I was like, oh yeah, by the time we get to the PS4, I would have said PS5, we would have been cloud. But the problem is that the internet still all over the world is all over the place in terms of capabilities. And there's no way that you would be able to have the same reach if you solely went to cloud, because, there's some people that have gigabit internet, and there's some people that they may have quote unquote high speed, but it might as well be friggin' dial up. So that may be maybe they'll, what I think will happen if this Xbox 2 is actually what it is, it'll still be a local box with local hardware with a Ryzen CPU and an upgraded GPU, so on and so forth. But they may transition halfway through the generation. Stream with it, and everything will go to the cloud then. Like when the Xbox 2 gets long in the tooth, then it'll just be like, oh no, keep your Xbox 2. The power of the cloud is going to take over, and you're going to have that next gen 8K gaming experience right from the same system.
Well, let me ask you this, Rich. If let's say they do something like it. Let's say they have two models. They have one that's all local. You got to spend a bunch of money. But how interesting would it be to the consumer if you could get an Xbox for like $80? And that's because you have to have an internet connection. It has to be connected to the internet at all times, and the cloud does most of the work while your local box is basically like a toned down Xbox One S, or like a really toned down ARM chip that does a lot of the work outside of visuals and everything like that.
It's definitely possible. I mean, I've used a lot of the services. I've tried PlayStation Now and things like that, and I've tried NVIDIA's service, which the name is failing to come to me right now.
Oh, is that the Grid? Is that what I'm thinking of?
No, there's another. No, the GeForce Now maybe.
Okay, yeah.
GeForce Now, and
I think you're right, yeah.
I have definitely more than enough bandwidth to really get a good solid experience, and it's very close. It's very close, but it's just not there yet. And I have a higher internet speed than a lot of people have. There's some people that blow me away, but I'm saying, so my point being is they may do that, but I just don't see us there yet where that would be something that flies off the shelves.
Ladies and gentlemen, we reached 2,000 viewers. It's actually the most we've ever had on SpawnCast. So thank you
awesome.
for joining us. For tonight, we're talking with Rich from ReviewTech and MissClick from MissClick Gaming. So make sure you guys are checking both of them out. Go check out their videos and streams and everything. Have a good time there. And yes, I will be watching Dragon Ball Super after we're done here. Don't worry. Yes. So we were talking about Microsoft's future here with streaming. Sean, what's your take on this? Are you okay with that? Because I feel like you're mostly a you want to buy a system and play it. Kind of, you're more in the retro stuff, even where cloud gaming wasn't even a thing, obviously.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about. I don't think cloud gaming should be the one and only thing. I think as an option, it's okay. But as far as that being the only thing, I don't know. Like, I do like Xbox Game Pass, but you do download the games. Mm-hmm. I mean, so it's not really, I don't know. The thing about cloud gaming to me is that Microsoft has been talking about the fucking cloud this entire generation.
2014, right? 2014.
Yeah, and they've done nothing with it. Like, I still look up in the sky and the cloud is just cloud. Like, it might snow.
I remember which Crackdown we got? 3 now, the one that's coming out?
Yeah. Yep.
And before everyone went 4K mid-gen console refreshes, they finally showed. I kept on saying from the beginning the cloud is bullshit. And they finally showed, oh, look at the destructible environments in the multiplayer. It's all due to the cloud. And so many people like, look, Rich, I told you didn't know what you were talking about. And then where's that now? That's not even a thing now anymore. I mean, they may have it, but like they're not even talking about it anymore.
Well, remember when they first showed it, it was called the Azure Cloud. That was the name of Microsoft's program. And one of the things they said theoretically was that you'd be able to play an Assassin's Creed game that would have 1 million people in a city, and each one of the people in the city would be told where to go by the cloud. That way your console can just focus on your player and processing the graphics. And that sounds so good, but I feel like as soon as my interconnection starts to mess up because someone's trying to download 4K fancy adult movies, everybody in the town would just suddenly freeze.
This is an interesting question, actually. MissClick, you do a lot of live streaming, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Would it be I guess not as interesting to you for something that has to run off the cloud and probably use a ton of your bandwidth to buy and then try to live stream? Because I feel like live streamers might not like something like that as much.
I was gonna say that to be honest, and not even just for live streamers, I'm just thinking of people in general who might not necessarily have good internet in general. I know a lot of viewers who they struggle even just to watch a live stream. They just don't have that potential. I think that would definitely be more of a niche buy. Like you need to have the proper requirements. I know for me, like when I literally built from like a crappy computer to like my rig is just like, I'm so happy with it now, but it was because I couldn't run at first with my internet speed to my computer. So I upgraded my internet speed and I upgraded my computer. And even then still sometimes you'll see a hiccup with the power that streaming takes. So having it on a cloud and not like, I can't even imagine like having to pull data for your console when normally it's functioning all on its own and you don't have to worry about it. You hook it up to your freaking capture card and you stream and you're good to go.
Yes.
To be honest, I wouldn't necessarily be looking forward to having data coming in and then also going out.
Right. Here is the thing that no one seems to be talking about either. There are many times I live in the Northeast and it may snow and you don't lose power, but you lose internet.
Yep.
There are many single player games I still like playing. If everything is in the goddamn cloud, guess what you can't do when you don't have internet? You ain't playing nothing.
Nope.
And my man boobs will be in a twist if I can't play something like Doom because of the fact that everything is in the cloud. That's the thing that people seem to be forgetting about too. If everything is, and they want to move the cloud beyond just gaming and entertainment, they want you to compute everything in the cloud, like video editing in the cloud, Photoshop in the cloud. And it's just like, if nothing is local here, that could even hurt my productivity and stuff too. I don't know, man. I'm not 100% on board with everything being in the cloud yet.
That's what I was about to say, Rich, is that I'm a person who I have to beat 1 or 2 video games every single week to make a review. I have to. That is literally how I pay my bills. So anytime my internet goes out, it's kind of one of those things where it hurts my productivity. But if it literally stopped me from playing a game, it's like, oh, cool, I'm screwed.
What did you see the donation there, Max? I think that's directed towards you. Not to disparage Franklin, my dear. Don't disparage their 4K fancy adult movies. Thank you, Franklin, my dear. Thank you.
Franklin is the funniest dude ever. I'm sure he's in all of our chats. He cracks me up.
He's an amazing individual. He's been very generous towards me on my live streams. So thank you, Franklin.
Yeah, Rich. Sean and I are actually both in the Northeast as well. And we had that. I don't think we've had it as bad as you. I think you're further north than us. We're in the tri-state Maryland, Delaware area.
Dude, like the first 10 days of my month, I was just screwed. I basically couldn't work. Granted, there was something else family-wise that happened too, which ended up being fine. But Yeah, that hurt me big time.
Yeah, it was like snowing sideways there for a while. So
Yes.
We saw it was snowing sideways yesterday at Friendly's, and then 5 minutes later it was sunny. It was bizarre.
Yeah, it was weird. Yeah, we went out to breakfast and it was like
y'all got to move on down to Texas. Here in Texas, it never snows, it never rains. It's a desert.
Might be actually moving to Texas, man. We're debating it. All kidding aside.
Nice.
It's on, dude. Honestly, I love it. I never want to leave this place. I love it.
I'd say move to Florida, but after Irma, we're the first place to go in a zombie apocalypse. There's no way out of here, so stay away.
I gotta go to the West Coast if I'm going anywhere. So.
I'm East Coast till I die, man.
Really? I need that time change, man. Some like all my press releases show up, and it's like 5 p.m. I'm like, guess I gotta start working now. Whereas it's like 2 over there. But that and everybody's over there on the West Coast.
This is true.
So that's expensive though. Any of the super chats we'll be reading in the next 15 minutes or so. We'll do that. So I don't know what Microsoft's going to do, but I think their next machine will at least still be a local machine. It's just, Comcast is terrible in my area, so I would never be able to.
That's what I'm
like
saying. It has to at least start.
Yeah. I have the best I can get for upload is 10 megabits up. That's it.
And Microsoft, I'll say this, man. If you come out with the Xbox 2, we'll call it for now.
Such a bad name.
In 20, do a terrible name if it actually ends up being the name. You might as well just call it, if you come out with it in 2019, you might as well just call it the Xbox 32X. And
I'm just saying. Xbox with 2 X's on the end. Just do that.
I'm telling you, just make it look like a mushroom and you just shove it on top of the Xbox One X and we're good.
No, dude, it's got to be like those the Generation 1 Game Sharks, the huge thing that looked like an original modem that plugged into the back of PlayStation. It's like an external processor. Just shove it in there.
Any thoughts, guys, on the Tomb Raider, Shadow of the Tomb Raider coming out?
Need to see more, but I think it's going to be
exactly.
good.
Yeah.
The movie? Is that the movie that's coming out?
New game.
New game.
It's a new game. Oh wow, man.
They teased it. Yeah, got a 20-second teaser. Shadow of the Tomb Raider is coming out. It is coming. We kind of knew it before then.
Oh yeah, and it's not going to be timed exclusive.
All systems.
Where it was, it felt like it was like the Rise of the Tomb Raider was a time exclusive on the Xbox One for like 20 seconds. It was like the time exclusive. Oh, hey guys, this is a time exclusive. Oh wait, now it's out on every other console.
I did like Rise though. I really did like it.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for this.
Yeah, it's a good game. It just that was the worst time exclusive Microsoft may have ever done ever.
And the thing that they mentioned on their site, and they might have also put it in the trailer. I know people look through the source code on the website. They found out everything the day before they announced it.
Rip.
But they talked about this being the end of I assume the origin story is the idea.
Yes.
So maybe they'll move on from there as well. Hopefully it sells well. I think Rise did at least well enough to obviously warrant this and the movie. So they were going to put it out alongside the movie anyway. But it'll be fun. It's actually out in September, midway through September. I think it's September 14th is when it's out. So gotta get out ahead of Red Dead.
Yes.
It's funny that
everything has to. Except honestly, you know what'll probably do fine against Red Dead? Smash, because it just has a totally different audience.
Yeah, exactly. They could be fine in there. Everyone who's going to buy Smash,
they could probably come out the same damn day, and at worst, you would see people come out with both a copy of Red Dead 2 and
that would be me. That would be me. So yeah, I get it.
Yeah, that's the worst that would happen to Nintendo. It would not hurt their sales.
Sean, do you want to run us through the Sonic Mania Physical Edition real quick?
Sonic Mania Physical Edition. So it's called Sonic Mania Plus. It's coming out in summer 2018. It's $29.99. It's coming out on the PS4, the Xbox One, and the Nintendo Switch. It comes with 2 additional characters, Mighty the Armadillo, and some other person that I wasn't really familiar with. Ray,
Yeah.
what is Ray from?
Ray the Flying Squirrel. I don't remember it.
See, nobody knows.
No, so I know. She's from the early games. There were more, and also she's really big in the comics. And I read all the
that
Sonic
makes
comics
sense.
for some reason.
And yeah, it's gonna have an encore mode, which I haven't really said anything about. Come with an art book, and it's like $30, so it's awesome. And I will buy it day one.
Yeah, I'll buy it too. Sure. I think that was a review that was sent out to me for the game. But yeah, I'll buy it too. It looks pretty cool.
And that's something that you can't get the extra stuff with if you've already bought it before.
You can. Yes.
You can.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
They haven't said the price, but the thing that's being passed around is probably $5 or $10 because
really, I was kind of hoping it would just be a free download.
It's because it's 2 extra characters, and apparently a lot of one of the things they said is something about expanded multiplayer modes or something.
Yeah, there's like a 4-player multiplayer.
Wow.
Yeah. So that at that point that becomes a new thing to me. So I'm probably going to buy it physical, and I already own it, the original digital.
I have it.
I got a question for you guys. I'm just curious. Have you noticed with the Switch that it's made you more digital distribution prone, or is that just me?
Yes. No. Exactly. I have the same thing. Of course, if the Nintendo people send you get a digital one anyway. But I seriously was sitting here with Kirby and I was looking at it and I was like, I'm just gonna buy it digitally because it was like it was a 2 gigabyte download, and I was like, I'm just gonna get it digitally. So
I think that the stronger flagship games like Zelda, Mario, I bought physical, but things like
I did that too.
Mario Kart, I'm totally fine with digital.
I own one physical Switch game, and that's Zelda. Everything else I own digitally.
You're all sick in the head.
There's a guy in the chat, and he's amazing. He actually has a picture of Beavis, and he keeps on telling me to eat the pickle. So I keep on picturing Beavis saying "eat the pickle." I know it's a little out of nowhere, but it just
man.
That's awesome.
That's great. So I don't know. I think a lot of people are because you take it with you and you don't want to take a bunch of cartridges. So
exactly.
Yeah, man. Like what happened to me, I almost had a major tragedy. Because I'm a dumbass, it ended up being my fault. I thought my son he's 1.5, and I thought I had 2 little red card like things to hold the cards, the Switch games cartridges. Yeah. I thought he moved them somewhere. Like he said, "Oh look, shiny red, I'm 1," and he put them somewhere. No, it was my dumbass. I put him in one of my folded clean clothes, and it was sandwiched in between there.
Oh, no.
And I was like, "Yeah, it wasn't my son." And ever since then, to be honest with you, I'm like, man, I'm just going to lose these games because they're so small. And it's just easier because of the portable system to have them all on your SD card. And I've just been digital ever since. So.
Well, digital, yes. And I find I'm loving the indie games more than anything else on Switch. And so many of them are so cheap anyways. Like a lot of times I'll just anytime I get paid, I'll just buy like $20 of Nintendo bucks, whatever it's called, and just grab a couple indie games. So it's just easy to have I have 50 twin stick shooters on there. I'm addicted to twin stick shooters. So I just have tons on
perfect. There. It's a perfect system for those. And shout out to RGT. He had a video about there was some game that was like, he's like, this game is cheap, buy it. It's good. It's like a 2D beat 'em up game. It's like very almost looks like a 2D Gears of War. I forgot the name of it.
And Earth Wars.
It's good, man.
Yeah. There's another I'm trying to remember what this was. Somebody actually sent me a message. It was like, you got to cover this. It's a JRPG indie game coming out for the Switch, but it's like almost like you're part of the mob.
Okay.
And I saw it and I was like, this game looks awesome. And it's like these little indie games that keep popping up that I go, how did I miss this? And then they tell me it's on the Switch and I'm like, I guess I just missed it on the other stuff. I don't think that one's out yet, actually. I think that one's actually out this month. I think at the end of the month. Someone in the chat might remember what it's called. But Sean, do you remember what I'm talking about? There was a game that somebody sent me a message on, maybe it was a comment. They're like, you should really think about covering this game, and it's like a JRPG coming out this month for the Switch.
Guns and cannoli? Guns, gore, and cannoli?
No, that's a 2D side scroller.
Is that what it is? It's like a JRPG on the Switch that I saw, and it's like you're part of the mob or something. It's very interesting. And it's out, I think, soon. I think it's out in like a week or two. But I saw it and I was like, I would have never seen that if it wasn't on the Switch and people weren't advertising it on the Switch. I wish I could remember what it was called. That's gonna bug me. I'll figure it out eventually.
We see
Sean. I got it. It's Pixel Noir.
Pixel Noir.
Yeah. Pixel Noir. Check that thing out.
I think I heard that before.
Oh, it has no. I see. Yeah, Pixel Noir. It's when is this out? I think it's out on a couple different systems. It was a Kickstarter. It was originally going to 3DS, but they moved it instead to the Switch.
Oh, it looks kind of cool. The graphics are. Oh, I like this.
Pixel Noir, yeah. Check that out.
Earthbound meets Sin City in this.
There you go.
RPG.
I'm probably got to see
trailer for that game. Yeah.
When I see games like this, it makes me glad I'm a YouTuber because I feel like there's so much really interesting stuff on Switch that I just want to give more attention to. Where it's like, this is a really, really unique game that I'm glad somebody made. I'm gonna freaking talk about it.
So many games, man, and with two babies, it's so hard. There's so many games I want to play, and then it's like I go home and it's like I have negative time.
Yeah, I tried to give my son the Joy-Con and he just put it in his mouth, so he can't. It didn't work out.
Switch, and I think the Joy-Cons, it feels like, ooh, that's something I could throw in the ground and try to destroy.
Yeah. So someday, just not now. Which is a shame because the Joy-Con is like the perfect size for them. So when they turn it sideways, like perfect.
Like
size
me, yay!
And then Sean, I know you saw this, and maybe you got a little excited. The Sonic Racing teaser.
Yeah, I mean, I like Sonic Racing games. I think
this one's weird though, right? They actually showed real cars starting up.
Yeah, that's what I don't
know. I'm pumped, dude. I love the Sonic Racing games.
I mean, they're good. So I don't know. It'll be. I'm curious about it.
I'm just.
Who's getting Dark Souls for Switch?
Oh, me.
I think everybody. I assume a lot of people are anyway. I know.
I have to, because I'm telling you, man. In my opinion, that series is a spiritual successor to Castlevania because they dropped the ball, and I just want. I suck at those games so bad, but I want to be good because it's like the perfect. It's like totally up my alley, but I just get my ass handed to me every time I play them. I think everyone does, but
they're so good when it clicks. Like it took me. I beat them. I like sucked at all of them, and for some reason with Dark Souls 3, when I beat Dark Souls 3, the whole series clicked with me, and now I'm like the god of the whole franchise. But man, I love them.
I think it's just gonna be interesting to see that game portable. Like it's so weird to say that, but like some of the ports that come to the Switch, even Crash Bandicoot, I'm like, man, that's gonna be really weird to see that game as like a handheld,
Crash, dude.
as a handheld game. So I'm almost buying this game just to see it playing portably. It's weird.
Yep.
You're getting these full fat experiences on the Switch. It's not the diet soda version. It's like the PS Vita tried to do this. You know what I'm saying? But the PS Vita still was the diet soda version of Killzone, the diet soda version of Uncharted. Now it's just like the full game. Okay, you may not have the same pretty shadows, but it's still the full game. That to me is just like
slightly toned down frame rate, maybe slightly toned down resolution, but it's the same freaking game.
Yes, yeah. So we're gonna. It's so cool to see that. But I think a lot of people. I assume. I think most of us. I know. Obviously, I know Sean is. I know Max is. I am.
I don't keep tweeting about it.
I don't know if MissClick, if you're getting Dark Souls on the.
I will. Oh, dude.
Switch. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm gonna like crazy glue the Joy-Cons to my hands as I'm playing, so I don't throw my Switch across.
Good idea.
When was the last Sonic Racing game? Can anyone help me out here on this?
2013.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's a lot sooner than I thought. A lot more recent.
So this one looked weird because they were like real cars starting up. There's like they showed like shots of actual like headlights and the cars starting up with the sound and everything. So I don't know what they're doing, but it's weird.
So the later games, remember they really started to blend all their things together. Like one of the last ones had Ryo Hazuki on a motorcycle and stuff, and so this could be that they're bringing in more stuff from like the Sega GT racing games, and they're really trying to just make this the ultimate. What's really weird about this is that Sega reached out to me directly and told me that this was going to happen. They told me, hey, you're like a YouTuber who lives in Dallas. Do you want to drive down to Austin? We'd love to have you like front row for this big announcement tomorrow. I was like, what? So clearly they're trying to focus attention on this.
If it was Sega Europe, they would have been over at Sean's house tonight.
Yeah, really. Bringing tea and crumpet.
Is anyone else watching these interactions between Sean and Sega?
I don't. They're DMing me a lot. I don't.
Outstanding. They're just messing with Sean at this point.
Yeah.
A Yakuza game would be good for the Switch too. I know. Talking about Sega, that'd be good too. I picture that happening. I have a feeling that's going to happen.
Let's move a Persona game over too. Why not?
Yeah.
I just want GameCube Virtual Console, to be honest.
Yeah. Any virtual console.
I want Double Dash. I want Double Dash back.
Did you see one of these MissClick, the HDMI things for GameCube?
Oh, you were talking about it on Jesse's stream.
Yeah, it might be worth looking into because it's really easy to stream it then. For GameCube games, they're kind of neat.
True. Well, I mean, I'm pretty much upset because if I buy a new one, I have to buy a used Double Dash because my Double Dash stopped working. I beat it to death.
You beat it to death. Wow, jeez.
Yeah,
man.
If you start streaming it, I'll make you a deal. I'll mail you my copy of Double Dash. I haven't put it in my GameCube in years. That's my agreement.
I will cry.
That's my, I have a rule.
I've never played Double Dash. I heard it's really good.
It is.
Played it, though.
All right, man. Bye, guys. Have a good night. I'm kidding.
The first time I ever played Double Dash in my life was at a tournament, and I got smoked by these 9-year-olds who were using the drifting glitch.
Dude, the drifting was so good.
Yeah, that
was the GameCube and I guess it was the Xbox 360 game. That was like college time almost, and the GameCube was still around. It was almost like how when the PS3 was out and the Xbox 360. The other systems were still around for like 2 years even after that. But we would play in this case Double Dash in like the dorms and everything, and we would play Drink and Drive, where you have to pull over to drink and then you can drive again.
We
did that all the time. Yeah, they were like all these like parties and stuff, and we would be playing GameCube at the parties with like beers and stuff.
Cool, because one person could drive and the other person could throw items. Oh, dude.
Yes.
But like you'd have to pull over. You couldn't drive and drink at the same time. You have to pull over to the side, park, and then drink, and then you could drive.
That's actually a really cool idea.
You had to finish your beer before the end of the race, or you would lose.
I have a feeling we're going to see Double Dash for Switch too. I bet you that's going to be one of the GameCube games they bring over.
Well, when it's announced, just imagine me screaming.
Yeah, I'll hear it somehow. I'll be watching the stream.
I'll pretend my ears are bleeding right now.
But I thought it was just me who did that. Yeah, it's Mario. It's called Mario Kart DY. I thought it was just us who did it, but then I watched Game Grumps and they were doing it too, and I was like, man, I guess a lot of people were doing that then. Interesting.
Yeah,
the college stuff travels.
We did a thing of Halo when Halo 2 came out and was taking over the entire world. We did a thing of when you get shot, you had to do a shot, and so we were just, man, you play a really long match as a capture the flag, and everyone's demolished.
Oh, Rax is heading out. Rax, we'll see you later. Have a good night, man.
Have a good night, man. Thank you for coming through.
Okay, so I guess that's everything. We have no idea when we're gonna see, in this case, anything with Sonic Racing. They just teased it, and that was it. So I guess we'll find out eventually. Let me pull up any of the super chat messages and stuff for us, and then we'll be good to go. Let's see. We had Thomas said, "What do you guys think of a new update, an hour log of playing docked and undocked on the Switch, so you can tell how long you've been playing undocked in handheld mode and then how long you've played in docked, and they kind of split that up."
Ooh, that's interesting. I would agree with that, especially if you have another Switch that bends like mine did. So you would know maybe why the reason, because there's been the Switches that bent and people.
Rich, this is funny. I noticed this when I took the new Switch I bought after mine bricked out of the thing. It actually came warped.
Yours
That was my other conspiracy. Yep. So some of them are coming warped.
Yeah, it came warped. I took it out and I was like, this thing's warped, huh? I mean, the way it's designed, it can warp on its own. It's not like the way everything can bend inside, so it's not like the end of the world. But I noticed that when I took it out, I was like, oh, it's warped. Weird. So
now that kind of pisses me off because now all my saves are gone. And even the guy at my GameStop, he's a real nice guy. And technically, they kind of lose money if you use your warranty to get a new Switch because you're not spending the money on a new Switch. Mm-hmm. But he looked at it, he was like, "Yeah, dude, I would probably replace it too." But now knowing that, I wouldn't have done it.
Might be surprised. Yeah, you take it out of the box. Mine was warped.
Switch,
wow.
That Switch was fine. But anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I have probably 400 hours in docked and probably 50 hours undocked, but mine hasn't warped yet.
I don't think you can tell on stream, but yeah, it's technically, if I had like a book or something put up against CB.
No, I see it a little bit. Okay.
It's kind of
going.
Yeah, it's already going.
Tiny. Yeah, I see it.
Wow, what the hell, dude?
That's how I've put like probably 10 hours on this since I opened it. So there you go.
Wow.
That's how some of them show up.
I heard what happened. Everyone. Here's a thing that, granted, it's just I only have a few people I can vouch for, so it's not like an official thing. But I would stay away from those Nyko third-party docks.
Really? Are you sure about that?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing with mine. You know what happened with mine?
What's that?
Is I used the power power supply that comes to the Nyko one on my regular Switch dock because they should supposedly be the same specifications. They're running the same damn system. It bricked my dock.
Ooh.
Whoa.
So
wow.
Yeah, I'm just talking for Sean and I. There may be a billion people that have this third-party dock and had no issues with it. I'm just saying I just think something's wrong with it.
Yeah,
and and I don't like it anyway because there's no, minus that little cheesy piece of plastic, there's no support except for the USB-C port that holds the Switch on that dock. So that's a lot of weight to just be on the USB-C port and a little piece of plastic that's super thin and cheap.
Yeah. If that snaps off, you're $300 out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's it was bad. So my Xenoblade save is gone, sadly. So I'm not playing back to that thing for a long time. Yeah, because the Nyko bricked my Switch completely. But I've had a lot of some companies that have everything, X-ray machines, everything, have reached out to me and asked if they want me to take a look at it for free. So I might send it out just to see. if they can take a look.
Yeah, they want to do that. It's great. Yeah, it's good business for them because then if they're the hero of saving your Switch, then they could probably get a whole bunch of people. So I'm sure there's probably other people.
I was gonna say you're probably not the only one. Yeah.
So, oh man, yeah. It just I know that the dock sucks, guys. I agree with you. I think the Nintendo Switch dock sucks. Just use that one though. Wait for Nintendo to come out with a more streamlined dock.
I don't mind the dock, but yeah, it's a really cheaply made feeling. It feels like two pieces of little plastic.
Let me see. We have. Let me just make sure I have all of these right here. We have. This is from. I might have to get closer.
Nintendo Cloud saves, by the way. Sorry, continue. I'm sorry.
Oh, Gintoki Cruz said, "Love your streams. Keep it up. I don't know if you can get 1,000 likes. I don't think it's possible.
We stopped.
We're still going. You're 874.
Nah, it's too far away. I mean, we only have it's never happening. 1,000. People in the chat won't be able to prove me wrong.
Positive energy.
Positive. I would pretty much almost guarantee you're going to get 1,000 likes. You're at 902, dude.
Nah, that's like 90.
930.
Nah, they won't do it.
You gotta be being sarcastic at this point. You're at 971.
Exactly. Reverse psychology works on chat, Rich. You can't ignore
998.
Oh. And I'm a dumbass and falling for it literally.
Do you think that after announcing Octo expansion that there will be more support for Splatoon with more content like this?
God, I hope so.
I mean, here's the thing: the Splatoon fan base is massive. I mean, that it's sold over 4 million. It's probably over 5 million copies now. They should keep making content for it because they'll just keep getting easy money.
Yeah, I mean, because
why not?
I think what it is a huge part of the fan base is still so active. I am literally still playing Splatoon every single day, pretty much. Like, literally,
I love the game.
Well, and I love the Splatfests. They're so goofy. Like, it is a weird way to how they remodeled the entire town and they actually put up people's art as like decoration billboards. Like, it's a game that actually genuinely feels like it's evolving. So yeah, I'm buying the DLC. I'll buy all the DLC.
Yep.
Is that being? I'm out of the loop with that. Is that being played competitively, Splatoon, or no?
I think they're wanting to make an esport. All the games they want to be esports don't become because everybody wants Smash to be an esport and Sakurai's like, please no.
I know Arms is, isn't it?
They're trying to.
They're doing tournaments. It needs more traffic, to be honest.
Yeah. See, you're going to have to live with yourself, Sean, the rest of your life.
I'm sorry.
1,100 likes now.
I messed up. Mistakes were made.
Yeah, take that with you. Let me scroll on here. Just make sure we have everyone here. We got the one where he split up the update on the docked hours and undocked. Let me show you. My Saturday evening night isn't complete unless I watch SpawnCast. Thank you. Keep up the great work, everyone. Question: what upcoming games are you looking forward to the most? Nino Kuni 2. That's me.
Freaking God of War. After watching that leaked gameplay, that is my #1 most hyped game of the year by far.
Okay. Close question.
What's the most hyped game of the year?
Well, what's the most hyped game coming up now?
Yeah, upcoming.
I said Nino
God
Kuni
of War
2.
for me.
God of War. Yep. Very good.
I don't know.
Not Smash. You're not just going to yell it to make chat explode.
No, because I'm not really a hardcore Smash player. Like I'll play it, but I don't really get like super into it.
Dude, every one of my friends is literally a tournament Smash player. So everybody, like, it's one of these where even when that game comes out, even if I don't want to play it, that's all I'm going to be playing.
I think we've offended MissClick like 80 times tonight.
I love it. Bring it. Keep going.
You know what's going to be crazy? Even though I'm not a diehard Smash person myself either, you know what's going to send that game to the stratosphere is the hybrid nature of the Switch.
Yep.
Oh yeah, dude, yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be interesting to see. People popping up at conventions, just getting the Switch out and playing.
The half-life of that game, it's actually not going to have a half-life. It's just going to keep growing and expanding. Yeah. Once they come out with Smash, it's going to be like the CS:GO for Nintendo.
Yeah,
I'd say the only thing that would kill a Switch at this point would be like a freaking Samsung event in which they just randomly explode. That'd be like the only
basically. You're just sitting there playing Smash Brothers, and like the back of your Switch just blows out like it was a bomb.
Sorry, Spawn. I hope that didn't get too close to home. But
wait, Spawn, your node exploded?
No, I
it's Switch.
Make fun of my Switch.
Oh, your Switch.
I'm
Your Switch.
sorry.
Speaking
of chat, please.
just
pay respects.
random note. Did you see that Samsung actually finally removed? There's that super viral video where a guy made a mod where all the explosives, all the grenades in Grand Theft Auto 5 look like
yes,
and they
that was great.
They got a
I hadn't
DMCA.
seen that.
That video has been taken down officially now. You can't see it
That
anywhere
is
on the internet.
Why,
so
Samsung?
funny.
Yes, Samsung officially finally took it down, which is weird because that video went viral 2 years ago, but they literally have taken it off everywhere of the internet. It was a big deal. People were like,
Wow.
Well, you
we're
know
really
why they're
censoring it
kind of
now?
worried about it now because they rebranded the Note 7. They basically made them all refurbished, and now it's like the Note Fan Edition or something like that. So, like, yeah, we want to try to selling these things again.
Oh, yeah.
Even though that was a kind of a while ago too, but so I don't know. Maybe just Samsung.
S9's coming out. I mean, they'll do well with that.
Samsung's feelings now are hurt. I don't know.
Yeah, no, stop making fun of our phone.
Let's see. I have to go through some of these kind of quick. There's actually more here than I thought there would be. Ashley with the $5. Thank you. Your new sponsor and your RGT and Review Tech Moneymaker. I don't know what that means. $5 from Omega saying Rich and MissClick is on the SpawnCast. God bless SpawnCast. You're welcome. And then Yentoki Cruz, RTU. That's Rich. The legend is here. Yes, he is.
Thank you.
Rich is here in the flesh. Yep. Death Wish Cassidy with $2 saying, oh, that's when they asked you about the drunken peasants.
Bring Cassidy.
Rich. Yes.
Yes, I will be going back on there. I was actually, like I said, supposed to be going back on last night, but I'll be back on there again in April sometime.
Cool. Look forward to it. And then Ravenflow with $5. No message, but thank you, Ravenflow. And then Alexier said, Dead Battle Royale games can be reborn on the Switch. You're thinking of, like, I guess ones that didn't take off. Although, what other ones are there other than Fortnite, I guess, and PUBG? Are there any other ones that I'm not thinking of?
Well, I mean, there were the original
out now or the ones coming out.
Well, there were a lot originally. There were a lot of Gen 1s like this started in H1Z1 and an Arma and all this stuff. There were all those original iterations that kept getting evolved on, but never took off the same way. So I mean, yeah, since those have lower graphics and stuff, I wouldn't mind. It's something I just love the Battle Royale game mode, so I would love to see.
I mean, at this point, it seems like you need a really big company behind it to keep it going and do it right. And Epic seems like the company that can do it. Unless who's the developer behind? Is that Bluehole or who's that?
Yeah, Bluehole's doing PUBG.
Yeah. Yep. Unless they sell out to Microsoft, I don't think they'll ever be able to keep up with.
I just have to have my rage factor go down with Battle Royale games because it just makes me angry when I jump out of the plane. As soon as my ass hits the ground, I already have a friggin' bullet in me, man.
Oh, yeah. you gotta be fast.
Next time I was like, I how can I learn when I'm already dead before I even have any time to do anything?
Just random tip, Rich. Go to the outskirts of the map. Like literally land. The farther out you land, the less people are going to go there, so you get more time to get potions and shields and stuff.
I want to like play PUBG one time or Fortnite on my live stream. I'm gonna have DreamcastGuy be my coach as I'm going through. I'm like half kidding, barely.
Dude, half kidding. I'm dead serious right now. The chat can hold me this. If you want to do that, I will literally do a Fortnite skill just for you, man.
Best way to learn is in squads.
We'll talk on Twitter. We'll talk.
Okay, cool, man. Hell yeah.
I'm garbage at that game.
Rich, if Rich isn't seeing the textures loading, you might think it's an N64 game at this point.
Oh, I've witnessed that. I heard it's a bigger thing on the Xbox One version.
Yeah, that's I think the version I have here is the Xbox. I don't think I have it on PC. PUBG. Do you think Monolithic True says? Do you think there'll be a movie section native, not just the Netflix app on the Switch, similar to how it works on PlayStation and Xbox platforms? I don't see. That's the thing. Nintendo's not that interested in media like the other systems are. They don't even. I mean, it was a big deal when Hulu showed up. So I don't know if they really care that much right now about it. I mean, even Netflix has said Nintendo doesn't seem to care.
Because of how the Switch is becoming like the end-all device where people are bringing it with them everywhere, that might change with the Switch. Eventually. Right now they're focusing on the games, but I have a feeling because they want people to constantly be on their Switch. Because in the end, it indirectly makes them money. Because if people are in Switch mode, be like, maybe I should go to the store and buy a game. So the more people are on their Switch, the better it is for Nintendo. So I think that might change with the Switch.
It's interesting to think about. Remember when the Xbox first came out, Microsoft was solely focused on multimedia and like making your TV run through the Xbox and everything. And the Switch is doing the like just games, just all games. We'll get to the media later if we do. It's interesting to think about the contrast between them starting out.
That's why people buy consoles is for games first.
Yeah.
Who
is that why I have this Xbox One X?
Who was that cornball that was on? I forgot. I always forget his name now. I used to know it off the top of my head. That announced the Xbox One.
Oh, the guy that like
Don
Matrick, that took off. He was
Don
like
Matrick.
Yeah.
Who told everyone to buy that was the most brilliant marketing move that probably instantly got him fired when he told Jeff Keighley if we don't have internet, go buy a 360. Yeah, I'm sure it's what Microsoft wanted everyone to think. Yeah, just go buy our previous gen console and ignore everyone.
Somebody did did a interview piece about him after he got fired. He was such a weird. He lived 4 miles from work, or sorry, like 3 hours from work, and he would drive a Lamborghini to and from work every day just because he was such a millionaire.
He seems like that kind of dude.
Yeah, he was a weird dude. That's why he was just like, well, I don't care. Like, buy whatever you want. I'm rich.
then he went to go work on Farmville. That worked out.
That's right. He took
for the 3 people that were still playing that.
Dougie asked, will any of you try to get Thumbleweed on Switch from Limited Run Games? Sean, are you into that? Are you getting that?
Yeah, I'm gonna get that because I never picked it up digitally. So yeah, that's a must buy for me.
I know you usually keep tabs on Limited Run Games. I think I've bought 2 games from them so far.
I need to abuse my friendship with them and like tell them be like, hey, you should send me some stuff and I'll review it on the channel. Like, I don't know why this whole entire time I've never done that. I've known them for like a year and a half, like visited them and shit.
Why haven't I abused more friendships?
Right? What the hell?
And NX Revolution asked, well, we were talking about indie games specifically, maybe for the Nindies, what happened to Pocket Rumble?
That's a great question.
And I remember that. I don't know what happened because it was supposed to be out on the launch month of the Switch.
Yeah.
And then it was supposed to come out in the spring, and then it was supposed to come out in the fall. And here we are a year later, still wondering what happened to it. I don't know what happened to it. It's been in early access on Steam for a while now, actually. So I don't know. Maybe we'll see it. Maybe it's vaporware.
I think one of the things that happens is when a system is first announced or launched, they try to make it seem like it's going to have as many games as possible to entice people to buy the system. I've seen that before where like there's so many games announced that you don't hear from them again for like 2 years. And I think the reason why they're announced like, hey, we're going to have a lot of games, we swear. You know, it's not just Nintendo that's done that. Sony and Microsoft have done this.
The other interesting trend about the Switch is sometimes a game will be announced and it's out a day later.
Like Outlast? Like Outlast just came Outlast just like smacked everyone across the face like we're here. Like it's like okay. And it's a good port.
What's even funnier is that company hired a new PR person and she was like, hi, I'm the new official PR person. This is my first tweet ever. And I just want to say Outlast is out tomorrow. I was like, man, y'all are in a huge hurry to change everything.
Was that
yeah.
Who was that? I know you're talking about. What's that?
Jean does see. I can't pronounce her name. It's French, but it's
Greg Miller's wife.
Greg Miller's wife. Yeah,
that's who it was. Okay, yeah, I saw that. I was like, oh, she's doing this now. Okay, cool. So now I know who to go to for review copies. Very good. Yeah, that's the thing about the Switch, man. Some days you'll turn it on and it's like, oh, this game's coming out today. Like now, go get it. Okay.
Like you'll turn on the Switch tomorrow and GTA 5 will be there.
Dude, I don't doubt it at this point. It's like you might as well leave like $60.
Oh, wow, GTA 5, a major AAA game out of nowhere is on the Switch. Okay.
You know, but those are I do like those announcements when it comes to E3 and Directs when they're like, you can go get it right now.
Yeah.
Like how they did that with. I remember when Max and I were watching the Direct and they showed Octopath Traveler. They're like, demos out now. We were like, oh, guess I got to end the stream.
Both of us were on stream, literally hitting search on the eShop while still watching the Nintendo stream. We were like, yeah, cool.
Dude, Game Awards, they freaking launched the freaking Zelda DLC that night.
Yeah, I remember that.
Available tonight. I was like, what the no.
So Sony's done that a couple times, most notably with PT demo. Remember they showed the weird like bag talking and they're like, this is a new demo mysteriously. It's like, what? And then it turned out to be Silent Hills.
And then Omega in again saying, hey, Rich and MissClick, thank you for being on this. It's really nice to see big YouTubers get to know SpawnWave and others. Thank you.
I'm telling you, I keep on saying it. SpawnWave is better at doing news than me, so he's going to be the next gaming news guy. I'm telling you.
I'm working. I'm grinding away over here.
I'm telling you, a couple, like not even like 2 years, man. You'll be at over $500,000. I'm going to guarantee it. Actually.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I'll keep grinding away. So
there you go.
Keep working. Any more news on the third-party docks bricking Switch? Yes, don't use them. They're terrible.
Yes.
Throw them out.
Especially too, like some of them. There was like some chipset that worked with Samsung S8 phones, and they're not designed to specifically work with the Switch. And obviously, the Switch does not have the same goddamn hardware as an S8. They just so happen to work and get an output. Just stay away from them. Yes, I know the dock for Nintendo that's official from Nintendo is garbage. I don't think anyone here will disagree with that. But you rather have that dock than have a third-party dock brick your system.
Yeah, you can't get your save data off right now either. That's a problem. So,
well, I feel like a lot of people kind of forget these third-party companies are trying so hard to churn them out. That's why there's like 10 million of them on the market, because a lot of these probably aren't even being fully tested. They just know you can throw it out there, maybe make a quick $1 million, and if somebody gets mad, oh well, shut down your company, make something new.
And then let's see, we have Dougie again asks if anyone plays D&D or played D&D.
I have.
I have not.
I want to get into it so bad.
I learned it just because I was curious, since I'm so addicted to turn-based RPGs. I wanted to see what they were all based on. So I spent like an entire summer playing it. It's fun, but god dang is it slow.
I think my dad used to play it a lot way back in the day, but I never got into it. So he has like super old school D&D stuff, like really old books and everything.
It's really valuable now if he ever wants to sell it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
I've seen people do multi-streams of them playing D&D though. Really cool streams, really interactive, pretty freaking funny too.
Yeah. I think Pro Jared does them sometimes. They're pretty interesting. So
yeah.
But I've never got into it. I don't know. At this point, I think I'm so jaded by like console gaming and stuff. I don't think I can go back to paper, pencil, and all that stuff. I don't know. And then Orlando said 2017 saw 6 brand new games from Nintendo. This year we know of 4 to 5. Do you think we get a 6th? Love Rich and MissClick. Hope they're back often.
Thank you.
Yes. You know what? I forgot to mention Yoshi. I think Yoshi is probably going to fall in there somewhere. Yeah. Maybe an August launch, maybe August release. Because that's kind of a AA game. That's like second tier. But I think there's at least one game we don't know about yet, and I think it's Retro Studios game, and I think that game's coming out this year.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're going to show some stuff at E3 for this year and for spring of next year. I'm not too worried about it.
I'm most curious about Microsoft's E3, and I'm most excited about Nintendo's E3. There's a difference between curious and excited. So, because I just feel like there's going to be some heavy hitters coming out of Nintendo this year, or not even just Nintendo, third parties for Nintendo this year, that we're going to be like our heads are going to explode, not expecting them to come out.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Max. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think the biggest thing that's going to happen at E3 this year, if I had to make any random predictions, I do think that we're going to start to see those games that are definitely aiming to land on PlayStation 5 and Xbox 2. Because remember, that's what we started to have towards the end of the Xbox 360. We saw Watch Dogs, and we're like, how can this possibly run on an Xbox 360? Well, it wasn't really designed to. So I think this E3, we're going to start to see those kind of games.
Okay, very good, very good. I'm going to start going through these a little quicker because there are more here. Like I said, I thought there would be. Zion said excited for Splatoon 2 DLC, 80 new missions pre-ordered. I think a lot of people who are in Splatoon are probably excited for it because it's $20, and Max, you were excited for it right away. So
it gives me an Octoling. Woo!
Yeah, there you go. Dougie actually asked a question that Rich and I might be able to answer. It says, you guys feel Kirby is worth the $60 price tag? I'm going to say if you have people to play with, yes. If it's just you, maybe not. Maybe wait for it to get a little cheaper. But if you're a big Kirby fan, I mean, you're going to buy it. So
I'm not a big Kirby fan, and maybe I need to play some more. I mean, like I said, I've played barely like an hour, but it is a good, solid 2D platforming or 2.5D platforming experience. But it is short from what I heard. I haven't beat it yet, but it is short from what I heard. And it's not that hard. So maybe dropping 60 is kind of a tough sell.
Yeah, I will say, Rich, there's something that somebody had told me before it came out. And apparently this game has actually a pretty large end game to it.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what that means because obviously I'm in like the first.
We haven't gotten there yet. Yeah.
Apparently there's a very lengthy end of the game that like opens up after you beat it. Apparently.
Okay.
So I'm a little curious about that myself, actually. And then Daniel asked, they can't even get the cloud compute technology down on Crackdown 3. I can't see them pulling this off. That's concerning. Crackdown 3 is seems to have issues with their cloud technology. So I don't know. I mean, they're going to run a whole generation on it. I don't think it's next gen.
The power of the cloud.
The power of the cloud.
Will McConnell says FF7 remake is the new Duke Nukem. Come get some. I would agree.
It is. That's a good analogy. Yeah,
yes.
It is.
Yes. We'll see. We'll see what happens in its launch year of 2025.
We'll see it for the PS12.
Yeah.
Oh, crushing my dreams.
Oh man. Gintoki Cruz asked if we have any people in mind for a raid. Sean, if you have anybody that
take a look.
Yeah, we'll drop someone smaller in there.
People are saying Yellow Kazoo just started streaming some Kirby.
Oh, okay, cool.
There you go. Yeah.
There we go. We can do that. And then frankly, my dear, thanks. Asking Max not to mess with his 4K fancy adult movies. And then Logan actually asked, where is that cucumber, Rich? So they need some cucumber action.
Man, the cucumber. Here, hold on. I'll grab the cucumber.
I want to see this.
It's so funny. This cucumber, people think that it's actually like, how is this thing not rotting yet? It's foam. It's a foam cucumber. Don't worry.
You're the only person I ever know who bought a prop cucumber, Rich.
No, it was actually
like a model home and took it from the display.
The guy who's a friggin' genius who actually set up the whole like blueprint to make my office the way it is. He actually is like, all right, we're gonna do this, and he just came through and just threw a cucumber on my desk, which in any other situation would probably frighten me. But and then in that one, it was like, all right, man, that's cool. We filmed the trailer, and it was
this party is starting.
We got a party going on here.
Jonathan Rojas asks, do you have any thoughts on the new Toy-Con Garage video Nintendo released? I think the Labo is way more in depth and complicated than people originally thought, because you can basically write programs in that thing. Simplified programs. It is absolutely crazy. So Toy-Con Garage
is definitely an interest. The people took my video as I was being negative about it. My only concern, like I said, is that because it's made of cardboard, kids are rough, and cardboard's cardboard. But the concept I think is brilliant. I never knocked the concept of it. I just think that, I could just picture like kids beating the crap at each other with the cardboard and then be breaking in 10 minutes. That's
going to be interesting to see. I wonder how much those replacement kits are going to be, because apparently they're going to sell replacement just cardboard. I don't know, but that
was like 10 to 20 or something. People were
okay. I guess if it's like $15 for the whole set,
Nintendo's just like cha-ching, because they know it's going to sell and they know kids are going to break them. So Nintendo's
Dude,
just
I'm excited. I can't wait to build one on the street, man. A robot thing going and be like, ah!
Sean's already doing it. Yeah.
For some reason, it seems like the one that like excites me the most, or I think is the coolest thing, is how they have the Joy-Cons on like that little bug and it becomes a remote control car.
Yeah.
Like that's a genius. It seems stupid and simple, but to me that's a genius idea.
Did you see the part, Rich, where you actually get an infrared camera shot from the Joy-Con infrared like port?
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? It's like, what?
That one blows my eyes. The piano, that's how they check the velocity of the keys on the piano. Like that's some insane tech they got.
Did you see that you can actually cut out your own waveform and the Joy-Con will read it?
No, I didn't see that. That's nuts.
Insane. Yeah, it's part of the trailer. I saw it and I was like, what? Like, it's crazy some of the stuff you can do with that.
When Nintendo comes up with good ideas, they don't mess around. When they come up with bad ideas, they're bad. When they're good, it's like, whoa, like your head explodes. But when they're bad, it's like, when they're bad, it's the Virtual Boy.
Oh man, when it's bad, you're talking to people in a game on your phone.
Yes.
Yeah. This is from Wishbone. I think the Sonic car tease was for Sega GT Racing. I think that's pretty straightforward, that it's Sonic in some way.
Yeah,
I think so. I think that's the idea, is that because they kind of talked about it during like a Sonic panel, didn't they?
Yes. Well, and specifically in the message they sent to me, they specifically said this is going to be a big. We want to have a lot of eyes on a Sonic All Access event. So if that's not Sonic, then that's really weirdly mixed messaging.
The Ravenflow said, again, man, I love listening to you guys. Great show. So engaging. Thank you.
Thank you
for that. Thomas said, what do you guys think of a new update hour? That's the one we did where they split them. Please share your number one Toys R Us memories. That's from Dougie again. You guys want to go around and share any quick Toys R Us memories?
Yeah, when my brother turned 16 years old, the day he turned 16 years old, he got his driver's license, and we were extremely poor, and our neighbor actually lent us his car so that my brother could drive alone for the first time ever. And me as a little kid, we drove to a Toys R Us so that I could put my face on the glass and look at the Game Boy Color because it had just come out. And I still can so clearly remember being there. And my brother was like, "We can't even afford this. We'll never be able to," because we were so poor. That was basically looking at gold bars. But I just still remember, like, it had that, and they literally had a locked case of Link's Awakening DX, and it was just like this magical moment to me.
Mine one was weird. Well, it's short, but then my one was actually from when I was adult. I remember getting Splatterhouse for the Turbo Express. I had the portable Turbo Express from there when I was a kid. You know, that was, my parents didn't care. They got me, didn't matter what kind of game it was. But my main one was actually when I was an adult, and I got, with my tax return, the Xbox 360 with Gears of War from Toys R Us, and that's what reignited me to get back into gaming. You know, a man child and going to Toys R Us at 25 to go pick up. But
I'm buying it for my son, for my cousin.
Yeah, I was like, I'm buying it for my son, my nephew.
I mean, we just watched Sean buy a Mario house at Toys R Us yesterday.
Castle.
What? It's a castle.
Castle.
Yeah. Do you have
great.
Yeah, I set it up yesterday. It's pretty
nice. Cool. I never had a Toys R Us moment. Because like you were saying, my parents just didn't have the money. So like the first console I got was a GameCube, and I played the crap out of that. But I remember like we went in one time because it was like next door to whatever store we were going to, and I was like, I just want to go in once. I just want to know what it looks like, what it smells like. You know, my mom's like, that's weird, you know, whatever. So we go in there. But I remember falling in love with. Do you remember the Lego sets that had motors and the rubber bands, and you could actually make like automated, you know, like contraptions? And I had that in gifted class, and I was like, oh, this is just like what we have at school, like, Mom. And she's like, I'm not paying like $150 for, you know, like Legos that I'm just gonna end up stepping on and hating my life. But I just remember like being like, oh man, I want those Legos really bad.
I actually bought my Game Boy Advance Arctic White system there, and that was awesome. That's all I really remember. So I think there was probably a Lego set I got there too, but not a ton of stuff from Toys R Us that was like big. It was like games and stuff. I did see that circular that was the little ad that they had out that people were passing around Twitter, like, remember these days, and it was like the Super Nintendo and like Street Fighter Alpha 2 and everything, and like old school stuff, like just the look, because like the Super Nintendo was like 130, but then the games were like 70-80 bucks.
Yeah.
I remember it, just real quick, and I won't go, I remember getting the catalogs as a kid during the holiday season and being psyched and like writing down what you wanted and like daydreaming the next day for like till Christmas came, if you were going to get it. That's the big stuff that I remember.
Let me see. And then this is from Jean-Pierre saying the YouTuber My Mate Vince made his Wii U portable. I saw that. I thought that was actually really cool.
Yeah.
But completely unnecessary. But it was cool.
He didn't carry around a backpack.
Very cool.
I thought the Switch mod that he made, where he actually had like a big screen Switch that he could handheld, that was actually pretty cool.
That was cool, yeah. I did see, if you look online though, there are pictures of people in Japan on like trains, like with their Wii U. So it's people have been apparently taking their Wii U's around for a while in Japan. I thought it was kind of funny to see him make it fully portable though. Like you just walk with it. It's pretty funny. Ashley said, notice me, Galgun 2 is coming up. Galgun 2 actually is coming up. But I know there's a lot of places that ban talk about that game, so like no one apparently, I guess, talks about it or something. I don't know. It's although I am also the guy who walked into that Katsicon, right, Max?
Yep.
And I asked why you needed a badge for 18 plus. I was like, we don't. That's not.
Yeah. Which because you were like, what's that wristband for? And I was like, no questions.
You're like 18 plus. I was like, why do you need a wristband for 18 plus here? That's not
the 18 plus places is good. It was worth that waiting in line for that wristband.
That was so funny. Evan just laughed. And I was like, it was like the perfect thing. I was like sitting there next to the booth. I was like, why do you need an 18 plus wristband? I don't understand. There you go. There you go. I'm like the guy wearing the 49er shirt to the anime convention while people are dressed up all fancy. This is from Monochrome. My work week ends on Saturday and I always watch SpawnCast while getting drunk to end the week. Okay, very good.
There you
PS,
go.
please ask Arlo if he'll ever come on at some point. I've talked to Arlo. We've just been trying to work out a time for him. That's all. So I've at least communicated with him. Sean Sweeney asked, you going to check Discord? Yes, I have 2 questions from Discord over here very quickly. Zion, 20% discount from Amazon keeps me with cartridge. That makes sense. I get that because you get something and you get 20% off. But I heard that they were stopping that for games that have already come out. It's just on pre-orders now, I think. But
something you could sell or trade in too.
Yeah, that's a good point. You can do that. The weird thing is we're in this gray area where you also have to download half the game even if you buy it.
So annoying, yeah.
The Ravenflow asks, what's the best attachable charger for the Switch? Attachable charger. Are you talking about like battery cases? A lot of them are like weird now because Nintendo doesn't have an official one yet. So it's like I wouldn't even plug.
All that stuff concerns me now.
Yeah.
What happened because if it isn't made by Nintendo, you don't know if they have the right circuitry given the right voltage and amperage that the thing needs, and they could damage it.
I'm terrified right now of any of that stuff that plugs in.
I 100% would not risk anything that's not licensed or officially produced by Nintendo.
So then Greenbolt asked who is getting the Nintendo Labo.
Me.
I'll give it a shot. I'll buy it.
Everybody but me.
I'm getting it.
I did put in a request to Nintendo, so we'll see if they actually send me one. I asked for the variety kit.
There you go.
I'm curious about that piano. Then Subhuman says cucumber intensifies. I think that one's for Rich. It's interesting to know it's made out of foam, though. That's interesting. It's interesting.
That makes the foam makes it even more intense.
I'll be honest, Rich. I thought you were just buying a new one with each video. I swear to God, because
people thought, no, you weren't the only one. People thought that with the live streams, like they either thought, like, dude, you buying new cucumbers or is that thing rotten? I'm like, no, man, it's foam.
His local grocery store knows him by name.
Yeah, like, hey, Rich.
Every time I'm live streaming, I'm going there buying a fresh cucumber.
Got a good shipment for you.
Like, why is this fat guy always coming into the grocery store by himself and just buying cucumbers?
You should do one time is just throw everybody off and just eat it one time, but actually have like a real one there with you, to throw people off going forward.
There was that video. There was one. Yeah, I remember the video where you had a real one and you took a bite out of it, right?
Oh God, yeah, that was what started the meme.
Yeah,
no, that was there was another one in 2014. That's what originally started it. But yeah, me and cucumbers go way back.
Don't worry, Rich. Max is known for a meme around here too. So.
Oh yeah,
Ridge Racer.
Yeah, actually, one time I was talking to E3 a couple weeks ago, and I actually said Ridge Raper, and chat will not let me listen. People still tweet that to me, like, "What's your favorite racing game?" It's like, dang it.
Oh, that's great.
It's like mundane Matt with pesky ad block. Turn off that pesky ad block.
The best part is that everyone kind of realized it after a second of silence after he said that. That was great.
So Ridge Raper.
Jib Jab says I finally bought Ukulele on the Switch. Worth every penny. The negative reviews do it no justice. Really feels like a Banjo-Kazooie rip, I guess. I think Banjo-Kazooie is pretty much what Ukulele tries to be. So fun game though. I actually like it. It actually works really well on the Switch, surprisingly. So.
It got a lot of patches. That's the thing, is as a person who beat it at launch and then beat it again on Switch, it's definitely heavily updated. So all those reviews are just because at launch there were some serious problems with the jumping.
Oh, okay, Ashley. Ashley in the Lancelot show. It said, "It's not Ashley. My name is Lancelot." I think that's a YouTube channel, Ashley and Lancelot Show. So check them out. Cool.
Yes.
Oh, okay. It is. Okay, yeah, cool.
Yeah,
then we have 2 more questions, and then we're good to go, guys. I have Evan pasted them all. Evan got off work at 10:30, and he pasted these longer questions in. 3 days. Oh, okay. So the first question was, I think we actually already kind of covered it about the Switch Mini possibly filling that void for kids who aren't ready for a $300 system. Right? We were talking about that. Kind of make it so it's rugged. It's like $200. It's just a system that plays the Switch games as well. That's kind of what they. Then they're asking, will the 3DS get support to satisfy that market? I think we were pretty much saying that it will be there until they have some kind of solution for that audience, because they're also pointing out that this would be the first time Nintendo would be a one system company in 30 years. When the 3DS goes away in 2019, we assume.
And I bet that's what's making them nervous, because it's like, well, this is like almost semi-uncharted territory for us for at least like 3 decades. It's like, oh, what are we going to do? So even though I think that's the natural transition that should happen, I'm sure it's like, whoa, we haven't been down this road in a real long time.
Yeah. What they need to do is get acquainted with the cell phone market very fast. What they need to do.
Sure, they've dabbled a little bit.
Oh yeah. Well, no, that's probably what they're going to try and make the second console. As weird as it is their handheld market will just keep churning out those cell phone games.
Fire Emblem actually makes them a decent amount of money. So
yeah.
Yep.
The one on this on cell phone. With Nintendo still needing to show Pokemon, Switch, Metroid, Fire Emblem, Smash footage, Xbox hyping their biggest E3 yet, and Sony possibly showing Kingdom Hearts and Spider-Man. Who do you believe will have the most impressive E3 presentation this year?
I got a lot of money on Microsoft.
Okay. Interesting.
I got high hopes that they're going to come out.
A lot of pressure on them, right?
It is, and I have a feeling from the little stuff I've heard, I 100% think that they're going to be paying out the butt for exclusives this year. Like, I think they've been shopping around.
They have to.
They've been shopping around to try and buy somebody. So I think they're going to try and come out with at least 3 to 5 really big exclusives on stage.
Do you think they announced that they bought PUBG or Bluehole at E3?
A month ago, I would have said yes, as I watched PUBG, like literally for the first time ever, have people quitting by the thousands per day. If they did that now, I don't think it'd have quite the hype around it.
Okay. I think it's
that's true. Yeah,
it really, in my opinion, it comes down to the streamers.
Yeah,
if they had a revival, they had new content, the streamers would go back and it would blow up right away. You know?
Fortnite just pounded PUBG.
What's interesting is so many millions of people have gotten in literally in the last 30 days, like 2 million new people have suddenly started going to Twitch just to watch Fortnite and they don't watch anything else. Twitch did a private investigation to try and look into this to make sure it's not bots, and it's not. There's just millions of new people suddenly that only give a crap about Fortnite.
You have an influx of children though. Like the amount of I have seen wanting to play this. I was at the freaking where was I? I was at freaking like Red Lobster or something. There was a kid playing it on a phone. And I was like, what the frick? I don't even have that. Like, what? So, I mean, I think it's definitely just more obviously accessible between all the systems and then the age range, because it's not as technical as PUBG and it's not as demanding as PUBG. So,
and it's free. I mean, straight up, kids love free games.
And isn't it like it? Isn't there like YouTubers like gaining like 1 million subs a month who are Fortnite streamers now? It always seems to happen. It'll be interesting to see where it is in like a year and a half though.
Because they're coming out with so much new content. Like they're constantly putting things out with new guns, new skins, new passes, changing the map, changing the activities. Like they had the 20v20, v20, v20. Coming out like Mustard Plays was big from Zelda, and then like he has been grinding Fortnite lately and doing all these challenges. Dude, his channel's blown up because of it.
That event they did 2 weeks ago where every single gun in the entire map was a legendary, so everything did like 5 million damage per shot. That was so great.
Yep.
Yeah. Can't get that in PUBG.
What do you guys think, because Sony has pretty much been showing, I mean this year they're going to show Spider-Man for the 3rd time. We've seen Kingdom Hearts already. Do you think that their E3 might be kind of boring to some people because they might show similar games that we've already seen, or do you think they're going to have new stuff there?
I'm hoping for new stuff. Sony still has a lot of projects that have been floating around, like Deep Down. That's one of those weird games that we keep hearing about. Like, show us that. Deep Down was supposed to be like Dragon's Dogma meets Dark Souls, and after the initial teaser, it just disappeared, but they refused to confirm that it's gone.
We still need to see Ghost of Tsushima as well.
Yeah.
Let's go down the panel very quickly so we can get through this. Just, I guess, name whichever company you think's going to have the best E3.
Sega. Why not?
Nintendo.
Okay. Max?
I already said Microsoft, but I'll
Microsoft, sure. Okay, cool. And then MissClick?
Biggest for E3? I don't know, to be honest. We're probably going to get a Smash trailer of some sort. Maybe a reveal of so-and-so, joins the battle or whatever. So I think that alone is going to have a lot of hype behind it. So they could literally just show that and people would be good.
Goku joins the battle, and I won't be able to load on the internet.
It's gonna be, I think it's going to be Crash smashes in.
Yeah, Crash, I think, is in it too. I actually think Nintendo will probably the best E3, or at least the most talked about E3, because they have to show footage for Metroid, they have to show footage for Pokemon, and Pokemon is the game that would really do damage to the internet. So
I'm keeping my expectations low. I'm not saying too much about Metroid. I'm thinking 2019, 2020.
Metroid's a 2019 game, man.
Yeah, I don't want to have.
If it's a 2018 game, I'm hoping that Nintendo completely does what they did with Odyssey and Breath of the Wild, where they their entire corner of E3 is remade to look like that world. I would love to see the Metroid planet. Oh
man.
And then the last question is, assuming that every Smash character which at least appeared twice in the series will be in the Smash for Switch, which 3 characters do you want to be playable in the Switch version?
That's a really specific question.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what? I was reading that out and I was like, what? Let's just Smash. Assuming that every Smash character which at least appeared twice in the series will be in Smash.
I'm just gonna say 3 characters. I want Mewtwo back. I want Snake back, and I want Cloud back.
Oh, Snake would be cool to have back.
Snake would be cool to have
back. Rip.
Yeah, I'm not really a Smash fan, so I'm just gonna say Sexy Coco.
Yeah. I know people want Ice Climbers.
Ice Climbers, yep, they didn't make a return.
I could be on board with that. God, that game brings me back, man. I had that for the NES when I was a kid.
Yeah, they could roll in with Ice Climbers. That'd be alright with that. X. What if they brought like Mega Man X in or Zero?
Whoa. I could see that.
Ooh.
I just want a new skill set for Link.
I think you're getting it because of Breath of the Wild.
Like his up B being freaking Rivali's Gale or something. Heck yeah.
There's a lot of stuff they could do with him. I'm interested to see what the design looks like in there. I don't know if they'll keep that cell shaded look or they'll play around with it.
Right.
Thing. I think that is all the questions. Let me just double check, and I think we're just about good. Oh, and then we said people said Yellow Kazoo, right?
Yeah. Yes, the Yellow Kazoo.
Yellow Kazoo. Sparks said get EW Network. I actually talked to Etika on Twitter. It could happen. Talk to him. Rich, when are you going to stream with Etika?
I know people. I gotta PM him on Twitter because people have been asking me about that for like a year and a half. And
definitely put a chat filter on whatever you do.
What happened?
No links, no words, no pictures. Do not.
I know. I know. But people asked me about that for like almost 2 years, and I would love
that'd be fun to see, Rich. Yeah, you should make that happen. That'd be fun.
For real.
When do you think Fortnite port to the Switch? Later this year. Yeah. And then someone says Goku goes ape, I guess, for his special. So they better not have just ruined Dragon Ball Super for me. I guess that's gonna do it for tonight, guys. We were joined by MissClick Gaming and Rich from Review Tech. Do you guys want to let these fine folks in the chat know where they can find you? I guess we'll start with MissClick.
Of course, yeah. All my fancy links, you can just go to MissClickGaming.com, or you can catch me on Twitter. It's probably the easiest, and that's just @_MissClick, and I'll fill in the rest. That should be it, though. MissClickGaming.com, everything is right there for you.
MissClickGaming.com. Okay, cool. Mm-hmm. I'll drop that in the chat to make it easier for you. And Rich, where can they find you, man?
They can just find me 99% on YouTube with ReviewTechUSA, and you can find me on Twitter @TheRealRTU.
All right, let me drop that in the chat. Oh, okay. There we go. Let's drop that in the chat. There we go. MissClick. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I don't think any of our moderators are around anymore. So, okay.
How dare they have lives? Stupid mods.
Okay. Cool. There we go. And then Max, where can they find you, man?
YouTube.com/DreamcastGuy. I've actually got 3 reviews coming up next week, as crazy as it is. I'm basically not going to sleep at all. Monday, I have a review of Assassin's Creed Rogue Remastered, which is why I'm not allowed to talk about it. I've been beating that this weekend. Then I'm doing a Sea of Thieves sort of impressions video. My plan is to just basically play it for 24 hours straight and talk about it on Wednesday. And then Friday, we're getting A Way Out. So my roommate is literally going to come down here. The second I get my copy of A Way Out,
forgot about that.
I'm just going to beat it in one sitting, have my eyeballs fall out, and then tell you guys whether it's good or bad. And then die.
And then die.
Evan said you can find Max trying to upload videos at your local Starbucks.
Yes, I had to freaking upload a video from Starbucks this week. That sucked.
And what about you, Sean? Where can they find you, man?
You can find me at RGT85. I have no idea what I'm doing this week. My head is very congested, so I'm going to sleep.
He's going to go drink some more palm olive soup.
Yeah. Gross.
Okay.
Oh God.
And you guys have to check out our awesome moderators. We have Urcha Gaming in the chat.
Yes.
I'm sure she can post her the link to her channel there, and then of course Rax the Great can do that as well. Smash JT was in there. He may have had to run off, but also check him out as well. And I guess that's it. We need Yellow Kazoo's channel URL if anyone has it, because you guys can go raid. You guys can go raid her, and bug her. She has 17 people watching, so I think you guys can. I think you guys can.
It's right here.
Yeah, I think you guys can fill that up. So I believe in you guys. But otherwise, I guess that'll do it for tonight. This is SpawnCast episode 50, and we'll be back next Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time, and we'll see you guys then.
Thank you.